You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
Kind of picking out.
The wasteland is a post-apocalyptic mess as the sole survivor wanders out, about to see the rest. Nuclear explosions sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core, frozen atomic waves. From deep within the core, frozen atomic waves.
Hello and welcome to the 427th edition of the Fallout Feed. I am Andrew, joined by a flock of my favorite Fallout folks tonight. We've got Jess. Hey, Jess.
Hey, Andrew. Greets, everybody.
Also, Ray. What's up, Ray?
Hello, hello.
And we are the show who compares and contrasts Fallout experiences through a lively roundtable discussion by playing through the same quest with characters who have been randomly assigned drastically different attributes. Welcome, everybody. Tonight on the show, we will go over some gameplay off the top. We've got a few feedback from our community about their adventures in Nuka World. For game time this week, I've prepared an edition of Pigcorn, which we haven't played in quite a while.
Pigcorn?
Yes, Vendertron, Pigcorn. And this one is called Atomic Land, so I'm sure you'll never be able to guess the category of Pigcorn titled Atomic Land, considering what we're playing right now. Anyone? Bueller? And we've also got some iguana bits coming up, and a very unwelcome announcement of some stupid bullshit, Jess, that I really am upset about, that I hate. That why the fuck are they? We thought we had till meat week, but what the? Ugh. We'll get into it in iguana bits.
Boy, I can't wait to hear what you think is stupid bullshit this time.
You know what I think is stupid bullshit.
Oh, the next season starting, perhaps?
Cutting my goddamn scorecation short. That's what's goddamn bullshit.
Scorecation, all you ever wanted? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Unforgivable.
Scorecation!
Only 9
is
weeks
over.
for the whole season.
What the hell, man? It's usually 12, 13, 18 sometimes. Good Lord. But we'll get into that here in just a little bit during the Iguana Bit section. And I've got a very special project shout out to end the show with here if anyone would like to help us with a little postcard project from one of our friends. So I don't want to reveal true identities, but if you will like to help us out with a postcard project, we'll get into that just a little bit at the end of the show for the shouts. So let's go ahead and roll into our gameplay and see what we've been getting into this week. Ray, did you have a chance to play any video games this week?
I did, but first let me channel my inner Pete Hines.
Okay.
You might not realize it, but we're launching a new video game.
You might
And
not
so
realize it.
We kind of have other things to do besides extend your frickin' scorecation.
You would think the opposite. You would
yeah.
think they could put it off, you know?
No, they've got to get it done because all those people have to be all hands on
Yes,
deck for
it's
Starfield
true.
launch.
It's true. Get it out of the way.
No.
The idea is they can launch the next season, roll out the updates that they've happened on the PTS and then into Meat Week, and then they can ignore Fallout 76 for at least a month or two because they got other things going on.
Yeah, the good thing is that, Andrew, you won't have to worry about scorecation again because this will be the last, the last update they do for like 6 months in
You sure?
76.
Don't make false promises that you can't promise that they're gonna keep there, Ray, because a 6-month scorecation just sounds so delightful to me at this point. Now, why do I put so much pressure on myself if I obviously hate it so much? Why do I keep completing these stupid scoreboards? I don't build the stuff. I always just want it. I don't care. But I obviously do care a lot.
One of these days, you're gonna need one of those trinkets.
I am.
For your perfect camp build.
Because that's all I spend my time doing is building. You know me. Oh wait, that's Jess.
No, but when you do build, you need that stuff.
I will. I'll need that little Nuka Cola trinket or something.
Exactly.
Yes, I definitely need that.
The little, flare tree.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
hang all your flares on.
Yeah, that actually sounds pretty fun. Is there a tree to hang flare on?
Isn't there?
I could
Yeah,
decorate.
we've got it's like an earring tree.
No
It's
way.
cute. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, for all your flair. You can line up all your little, silver shrouds or dice or vault boys
the
or whatever
little
you got.
Mothman
Even-
babies or whatever. Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Yeah. Careful, Andrew. You're tipping your hand that you're not actually listening to Iguana Bits.
Oh, did Jess say that last time? My bad.
It was
I'm sorry.
a couple months ago. It was a couple months ago. No worries.
Well, there's all this stuff, we do a show and like you got to run all the production stuff on the side, and like who has time to listen to what we're actually saying? These people, the people who listen to us don't even listen to us. They're just driving or whatever. They're going back and forth to work. They don't actually listen to what we're saying. They just need to have something on to distract them from the fact that they're sitting in traffic, right? They just want to hear some comforting, friendly voices. It just goes in one ear out the other, right? Do people know? I guess, Ray, you listened. Ray listens to our show. Oh, joy. Oh, so how about some gameplay?
I also play No Man's Sky.
Oh, yeah? Well, what's going on in there? Do you guys have a new expedition or anything going on recently?
Not yet. We're still waiting to find out. So we didn't get an emoji, but we did get a video montage of all of the updates that No Man's Sky's had over the years. Some of them big, some of them small, but it did announce that the new one that will be coming out at some point will be called Echoes.
It's whale calls.
No, we've already got that.
No. Echoes. Cave. No, you got caves.
Yeah.
Echo. Dolphins. You remember that dolphin game for the Sega Genesis? Echo the Dolphin. You're gonna get some dolphins, I think.
Could be.
Yeah.
But
Notoriously
I think
hard.
they're pretty smart. They're gonna get that in before the launch of Starfield, and there'll probably be an expedition associated with it. So everybody will jump in and do the expedition right away, so that they're free to play Starfield when it happens.
Are we T-minus 2 weeks to early release at this point, or normal release?
T-minus 2 to early.
To early release.
Yep.
Any shot of people completing a scoreboard? No, because it doesn't start till Tuesday or next Tuesday.
Oh, definitely a shot of it. Yeah.
You think
It's called
Buy it.
15,000 Atoms? Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know. It's been so long since I've gone through and really purchased binge stuff on the Atomic Shop that I might have, and I might just buy the season. How about that? If I'm not done with the scoreboard, which I won't be, by the time Starfield drops, I'm just gonna buy the rest of the board. And it makes sense to buy each level costs the same, right? So it makes more sense to buy this back half instead of the front half because there's more pound for your
you'll burn through the lower levels to start.
Yeah, you can get to level 50 pretty quickly, but then it slows down a lot.
Yep. Although to an extent, the boost does negate that. Getting your 10% boost, your 10% boost, your 5%.
Yeah.
That all adds up so that it doesn't matter as much if you're Fallout first.
Love that boost. I actually did not use a boost all last season.
You get the boost on the board naturally, so those happen when you claim them. But then,
I see what you mean. Yeah,
the 24-hour boost.
Yeah. But I need to do that 24-hour boost. I always was saving them because we explained that perfect scenario, Jess, where you're like, well, you got to do it when you're going to do your dailies late at night, and then early the next time, so you can double dip them. And I was always waiting for that time, and it never came around. So
oh no!
I always do them at the same time every day.
The most perfect is if you basically pop it on a Monday and you finish your weeklies and your dailies last minute on that Monday. Then the next day you get the new weeklies, and those are popping too.
No way.
So you're popping on your weeklies, you're double dipping on both sides. It's beautiful.
It counts for weeklies and dailies? That's crazy. I was just assumed it was dailies.
I usually did it on the weekend though. You know what I mean? So that way I get some Saturday night and some Sunday during the day.
But that Sunday or that Monday to Tuesday, that makes perfect sense to do it that way.
The best. You just have to make sure you have time so that you don't actually not get them done. Because sometimes if
Yeah.
you wait, put things off, then you don't actually log in Monday night.
Yeah. Whoops. I just missed everything now. Oh.
Yeah, you're better than I am, but I would sometimes just, get distracted. There are things to do.
Yeah. There's always stuff to do.
Hmm.
Yeah. Speaking of stuff
Yeah.
to do, Ray, you
Been
cramming
doing a
something
fair amount
in?
of cyberpunking.
Oh, nice. Pumpkin.
Yeah. So
Carving your cyber pumpkins.
yeah.
What's going on in there? What sparked this? You seem to have hopped back into it a few weeks ago. What specifically sparked that interest again? Did they come up with an update or something, or?
Well, yeah, kind of a pre-update, but I'd seen something about a character build that kind of fit in with something that I was already doing.
Is this the weird technology computer thing where the cameras kill
Yeah.
bad guys
Kill
thing that you're
people.
talking about? Oh, that sounds really fun.
And so it associates with also with critical hits on with weapons. So if you have this particular skill, which is being able to electrocute people from their brain, that will, when you get to the top level of that, it'll also allow you to shock them with a critical hit from a gun. So you're hitting you. So the way that it was sold was you could shoot them with basically a BB gun, and so the bullet does like 20 damage, and then the electrical shock does 20,000 damage. As it kills
Good
them.
Lord.
So, so that's been kind of fun to play around with. Plus, I just like the Netrunner builds. Being able to, destroy people through their brains.
That has to be the most fun. It's like playing River from Skyrim, where you're like, I can kill you with my brain.
Yeah.
Sorry, Skyrim, Firefly. Sorry, Firefly on the brain.
Skyrim. Is there any multiplayer aspect to Cyberpunk, or is it just you versus the computer world? Basically,
you versus the computer.
There's no other real player running around in there.
No, not at all.
It's like otherwise Ray wouldn't play it.
So I've been playing a lot of Skyrim as well. Still going through all the different deities.
The Daedra stuff.
Yeah.
Or Aedra 2.
Aedra 2. Yeah.
Nice.
I did a character, an Argonian character that follows the Hist. That was fun. The arcade characters, all kinds of good stuff.
What's the Hist? I remember Hist skin gives you like extra damage resistance or something. What is the Hist?
So the Hist is essentially in the trees.
Yes.
So it's the
sap, right?
The god that runs, that runs through the trees, and the people, or the Argonians, worship it.
I didn't
sounds
realize.
more like a wood elf thing, huh?
Yeah, well, kinda, but I mean, these are swamp trees we're talking. I didn't realize that the Hist was personified. I mean, I've heard them talk about the Hist and the Hist sap, but I didn't realize that it was kind of treated like a deity.
Yeah, it is.
Cool.
Wow, that's fun.
So that's been fun. And yeah, so I've got several different profiles running concurrently, hopping back and forth, through different characters, which, along with jumping back and forth between different game mechanics with Rage and Cyberpunk, jumping between characters in Skyrim, you start to forget where you've been, what you've got, what you can do. So it keeps my old brain active.
as much as you play a lot of characters and we joke about that, playing that many characters at once, like not just games, that has to be kind of trippy. Like what has this character and what has this character not done? Like when you have alts in 76, for instance, there are all kinds of locations maybe one character hasn't found, the other characters have. You think you've done this on this character, you haven't yet. I'm sure it's a lot more when you're playing Skyrim actively on multiple.
Yeah. Yeah, you go to do something, and you're like, I thought for sure I had that, that key or, whatever, but I don't, because that was on a different character. Like,
and you get to find the beacon over and over again, good times.
I've gotten really, really good at avoiding the beacon.
It should be like Hunt the Wampus, like for, our fellow olds who remember hunting the Wampus and Mule. You got to go in and try to find the beacon.
So, and every intention of playing Fallout 4. I know I always do this to myself as I get later and later in the week. It's like, I need to hop in. I need to start doing some, ancillary side stuff, and then I started watching The Expanse.
Oh, did you, Ray? I was flipping through the episode descriptions just the last 2 days because I haven't watched seasons 4, 5, or 6 ever.
Oh my gosh!
Amazon.
Yeah.
So I was reading the scripts. I'm like, oh, really? Oh, wait, that happened. Oh, Naomi's back here. Oh, who's this person? But yeah. Did you actually get sucked back into it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm in season 3 now.
Wait, just the last week you made it through season 1 and 2 up to 3?
Oh yeah.
Brilliant.
Well, I made it season 1 and 2 in one day.
Nice.
I mean, I hope you took a nap in the middle.
So this will be the 3rd time through the series.
Can you watch something and game simultaneously, or do you separate those activities?
No, I keep them separate.
No.
So
I generally
that
have
can
a
be
movie playing in the background or something if I'm gaming.
I almost watched Mars Attacks, but
You should have. I watched it last week. I don't know if I talked. I think I watched it after we had recorded, but I showed Mo Mars Attacks, and he's like, "What is this, old man? What's this crappy movie?" And then about halfway through, he's just like, "Oh man, did you see that alien? He totally blasted that guy. He's a green skeleton." He got really into it by the end of it. And then for like a couple of hours after the movie ended, I don't know if he really, because he'll just walk around humming tunes and singing, and not even sort of absent-mindedly as sort of like just a nervous tick or a habit that he does. It's just, I used to do the same thing. My dad would always be like, "Quit drumming on that. What are you doing? Quit making so much." I would just be tapping my feet and drumming on stuff all the time. But my son just hums. I don't know if he knows that he's doing it, but he was humming. First of all, he was walking around saying ack, 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 ack. And then he was humming that song. Ray, you told me what the title of it was, but just the yodeling song that would make the alien's head explode. He was just walking around humming that for a couple hours after we watched the movie too. Slim Whitman.
Yeah.
What was the song? What was the song called?
It's an Indian Love Song.
Indian Love Song, right? That is it. Yeah, I looked it up, listened to the song a few times after, and I was like, "Hey, that's the song from the movie." It's like, yeah, you've been singing it for a half an hour, dude.
Great the things kids key in on.
And it's like, Ray, I only watched it because you had brought up a couple weeks or a couple months ago how you watch it. It was like one of your favorite, action adventure movies. I was like, no, that's totally a comedy. But like, I just like, I hadn't watched it in a very long time. So I sat down, I saw that it was on one of my streaming servers. I was like, oh, this is a fun movie. I haven't seen that in a while. And then the intro credits roll, and it is fucking every Class A celebrity from Hollywood that was in the late 90s, early 2000s, whenever that movie was made, mid-90s, I don't even remember, but it was just like chock full of fucking Class A stars. I'm like, how on earth did they finance this movie? Everyone must have worked for scale or under or do a favor for I almost said Tim Robbins. What's his name? Tim Burton.
Burton.
Yeah, they must have just like, well, Jack Nicholson, fucking one of the biggest dudes in Hollywood ever, plays 2 of the main roles in the movie. You're just like, how on earth? It's just everyone must have just like wanted to work with Tim Burton at that point. There's the only way that they could have afforded all of the.
He was pretty big at the time,
Yeah.
coming off of Edward Scissorhands and Nightmare Before Christmas and all
Pee-wee's
that
Big
goodness.
Adventure. Speaking of.
Well,
poor
yeah, a
Pee-wee.
little further back.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is at the peak, and this is before he kind of went down the,
Batman.
slightly more repetitive Willy
shit.
Wonka route.
I just made that connection in my head. Jack Nicholson. The reason he had a relationship with Jack Nicholson because Jack Nicholson was the goddamn Joker in the Batman movie. I
Right.
totally forgot about that. Right.
I mean, who would pass up the chance to do something that pulpy with a budget too?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's just so crazy of a story itself. It's really fun. Anyone, go check it out if you haven't seen the movie from 25 years ago.
Oh man, yeah. If you haven't seen it, your life is not complete.
No, it is pretty amazing.
I mean, it is the quintessential Martian movie.
But still, you're watching all
good.
the sci-fi stuff in preparation for Starfield. I mean, that's kind of keying you in
Yeah.
on The Expanse. I'm sure Ray is partly what
Yeah.
brought you back there.
Yeah.
The Expanse. There you go. Starfield.
So-
right. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
one of the advantages of being an old guy is that it doesn't take long, and then you've forgotten most everything. So when you watch it, it's almost new. It's like, oh, that's vaguely familiar,
Yeah. When's the last time you watched
I've-
The Expanse?
that I've seen it. It's been a couple of years.
Yeah.
It's an epic, but it's like 13 episodes a season, but they're pretty close to an hour each, aren't they?
Yeah.
It was a really good show. I enjoyed
But
it.
yeah, it's really well done.
I've started
And
the
it's
first episode a couple times. I need to power through and like give it a good chance.
Yeah, and it definitely it pivots quite a bit after from that first couple of episodes.
Yeah, it broadens quickly. It starts to be very small in scope, where you're meeting a couple of small communities to ship, one location, and then it becomes a political epic by the end of the first season, and just keeps going from there.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about how the level of technology is very similar to Starfield. That's one thing I like about it. I mean, it's a little bit less advanced, but it's that same kind of deal. It's rougher sci-fi. It's not polished and Apple Store Star Trek style stuff.
Yeah.
I like that Apple Store Star Trek stuff.
Well, it's the Star Trek movies, the remakes, with J.J. Abrams. I mean, it was just like all white. Like you could picture
Yeah,
someone walking up to you
yeah.
and talking to you about,
Hey,
your protection plan.
If you like lens flare, those are the movies for you.
Yeah, they are.
It's crazy the amount of lens flare in those movies. To the point where in the theater it distracted me. I was like, another one? Really? Again? What is going on here? It's just like, you really like that effect, dude. Cut it out.
I'm glad he toned it down in the second and third movie a bit.
Yeah, you could tell they wanted it to be sparkly and notice this scene, you guys. Like, okay, we're noticing. Oh, so Expanse, No Man's Sky. What else are you getting into?
That kind of rounded up my week. So I had a 0 Fallout week.
Attaboy. That you got to do that every once in a while. We are the Fallout feed, but you're allowed to play other games, you guys. It's okay. I assume a lot of us are going to be playing a little bit of Starfield here coming up. Speaking of which, we were talking about the season when you need to get everything in line so you could have all hands on deck for Starfield later on. How many of these people are they expecting from their normal Fallout 76 players to transfer over to playing Starfield regularly? Do you think they care about
think they
that?
expect 100%.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, they're probably realizing, 80, 90%, but I would say the vast majority for sure.
Yeah. That's something they
But
actually consider and take into account and predict and
Definitely, but not that they'll abandon Starfield, because a lot of people, when they have a live service game, they have maybe their one live service game and then play other games on the side, one or two. And so people might take a break, but a lot of people will be back into work on the season.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you said, and you and other people have said, I hope the short season isn't a regular thing. And no, 9 weeks tied for the shortest season we've had. There've only been 2 that were that short. And I have a feeling this one, hopefully we get a good regular 12 weeks. You know what's interesting? I was calculating it just the other day, and 12 weeks would put us exactly on the 5th anniversary of Fallout. November 14th of this year would be exactly 12 weeks. So good time to switch the season.
Yeah, I guess so. And a good time to release a Fallout 4 advanced.
Yeah, I don't. Fifth anniversary of Fallout 76. So this is 76 specific.
So when was Fallout 4? That was that one of those November 11th, October? When was Fallout 4 released? I don't even remember.
I can't believe I'm blanking on this. I'm thinking November 10th, but
November 10th.
I'd have to double check. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this.
But you have to imagine that most of the people that are playing 76
are gonna try Starfield.
Didn't come from some other MMO faction. So they were single player game players before Fallout before.
Mm-hmm.
And so they would gravitate immediately to Starfield.
Right. A lot of us learned how to play multiplayer games like yourself and many others, to engage in that kind of MMO thing. And so many are ready to, so many have stopped playing 76, but those who are still playing regularly, a lot of them will try Starfield. But how long will they be there? Will they be there for a couple weeks, a month or two? I think that 76, while it will have a dip for a while, will bounce back with all the new people finding it and, continuing to add things like they are.
Can't wait to read the article of the person who quote unquote beats Starfield in 2 days or whatever. You know what I mean? Those people do the stupid speed runs and that game never took me very long. The gamer rant or whatever article about.
Can you imagine? I mean, if they beeline the main quest and get it done in 35, 40 hours, because the main quest for Starfield is going to be a little bit longer, than Skyrim or Fallout 4 by about 30%, they've said. And how could you play a Bethesda game and not get distracted? People often joke they can't even tell what the main quest is sometimes, like in Skyrim. Is the Civil War the main quest? Is doing, what Balgruuf telling me? Is that the main quest?
Yes,
it can be hard to even differentiate. So, yeah, exactly. It's all the main quest. Just do it. Yeah. Except for that miscellaneous tab. We don't go there.
Just ignore the dragons and ignore the Empire and play the game. That's how you play Skyrim.
Yep.
All right, so let's ignore Spacecom or whoever's telling us what to do, and just fly around and ignore it.
And certainly for people that have more time to play, it's easier to, take a break, play another game for a few hours, and then go back. So.
I thought you were going to say
that's
side
exactly
quest.
right. If you only have 10 hours or 15 hours a week to play, you're probably only playing one game, or maybe doing 5 hours to work on your stuff for 76, and then all the rest of your time is whatever your current game is.
Jess, a little bit ago you said, "Ooh, I was right." What were you? I was writing about.
Oh, it did come out November 10th. Fallout 4.
Okay, good. Yep. All right, Ray. Thanks for your gameplay, sir. Jess, did you have a chance to play any video games this week?
I did, and I didn't have a completely Fallout-free week. It's, we're nearing the end of the roundtable. There's still a lot to do in my playthrough, so I should have been in Fallout 4 a lot this week. But I'm not, because, my ass is in Nuka World, and much like all the fun you had trying to get back to the Commonwealth last week, I don't know if I really want to trek back to the Commonwealth. I'm trying to get through these parks. So I dallied around the parks a little bit, but I played more 76. Actually ended up playing on PC. Over the weekend, once again, doing stuff with friends more than just playing for fun. Haven't really been in the mood to build that much this summer. A little bit, but not a ton.
Gasp.
And jumped in to play some games with friends. On last Sunday, did a Dweller Drop with Renee for a friend's birthday party. So got in and did that. The Dweller Drop is the one that's kind of like what I was calling human skee ball back in the day, where you're jumping off things and dying and trying to land on a target with your dead body and your, loot bag. It's a great time. It's so much fun. Can you land on top of the werewolf or this part of the rug or stash box or, sometimes you end up in oddly compromising positions where you fall on top of Vault Boy draped over his thumb, and it's just really, it's a good time.
Tea kettle up,
Exactly. So did that, and we did a scavenger hunt too. That was tough because I love a good scavenger hunt in 76, and at this point, after years, I can find most items pretty easily, give me a junk component or junk item or whatever. But This one was pretty tough because fast travel was only allowed to 2 locations. So you have to fast travel to somewhere, and then from there you have to make it a place where you can find the item you're looking for. And there are a lot of them. Stuff like pristine teddy bear. Like I think there are like 4 or 5 pristine teddy bears I know of in the game, but they can be hard to find. Any number of little things. Oh, like sealed Wonder Glue, economy Wonder Glue, regular Wonder Glue. No, sealed Wonder Glue. So it was a tough scavenger hunt, but it was a lot of fun. So that was all for a birthday party. Just hanging out with friends, celebrating, having a good time.
Ray, what do your instincts say? Where are you finding a pristine teddy bear? Where are you finding sealed Wonder Glue? Where are you going to find those 2 items, do you think?
Well, yeah, I was just sitting here thinking, there's no way in hell I could do that because they've moved everything.
That is part of the problem. Yeah. You think you're doing like magnifying glasses. I was looking everywhere for magnifying glasses. I know they're on a bunch of desks. Couldn't find them. Finally, had to trek all the way up to Clancy Manor. Which of course Clancy has changed a lot with the cultists taking over, but there's still a lot of magnifying glasses. Yeah, pristine teddy bear. There is one at the Tyler County Fairgrounds, and riding on the carousel.
Oh, nice. That's cute.
Yeah, that was the one I knew of that I could find.
How about sealed Wonder Glue?
I don't remember where I found it. I think I was just checking containers like a mad woman.
Yeah.
Every locker in sight, every stash box, still eventually found one. It was quite the scavenger hunt. I was on a team with my friend Charo, and the 2 of us, we were just running all around. We came last. Well, there were 2 3-person teams, and then we were a 2-person team. So we had a slight disadvantage. But it was, but it was fine. It was fine. We had a good time.
You guys are so skilled that it's unfair for people to
That was it. It wasn't a handicap. It was simply being fair to the other players.
Exactly.
I was the only one to get a pristine teddy, so there was that.
Nice. Did you know where it was, or did you just...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that one I did.
Hey, I remember a little wood shack with like 8 teddy bears up on top of a shelf in a torn down. Where is that thing?
The Mother Lode. So that is a little bit
it's
a
up
little bit northeast
somewhere.
of Knife Edge. Yeah, the Knife Edge Raider Camp with a couple of traps there and the Snally outside, and then west of Prickett's Fort. I call it the Mother Lode because it's a little half red shack, and up in that little attic area, there's like 8 or 9
You have to jump
teddies.
to get to them. You can't really like stand and grab. You have to jump and grab. Yeah, that's where I would have headed. But then I was like, wait a second, I don't remember where the fuck that is. So I would have.
I thought you were supposed to throw a hand grenade.
That's smart. That would scatter him down. That's smart, Ray.
But then you got to find them on the ground in the dirt.
They're brightly colored.
Wouldn't be that bad. You're right. It's not like corpses used to be. I mean, now corpses get highlighted.
Yeah.
They get flies. It's so easy to find things these as it used to be. Area loot.
There's like little arrows pointing here. Yeah, okay. Plus,
back in my day, you had to comb it with a fine-tooth comb.
You do the area loot, and you can find anything anyway. It's like a corpse 20 feet away.
Including other people's loot bags occasionally, yeah.
Ooh, I never knew that. That's fun. It's like,
yeah. If
you still get the notification like someone is stealing your loot. It's like, oh,
I don't think so.
Bastard.
I actually don't know that if you get that or not. It doesn't usually happen, but every once in a while it pops in.
Yeah, fun.
So you can't find a bunch of raiders, so you shoot a rabbit and loot all.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Exactly.
That is a great way to find things. Mm-hmm. Yeah, is if you kill one thing to loot all in the area when you can't find another corpse. I do that sometimes. Beyond that, that was really my Fallout play. I did not do a whole lot. A little bit of 4, just adjusting to the park, and it's going to be a long time before I get those Nuka Cade tickets. I think we'll leave Steve to that. I was like, maybe I should do that achievement too. But if I'm going to do it, I need to load in on my non-Roundtable character because I need to be on a character that doesn't have mods. I don't really want to switch characters and go back and do all that. Tempting, but...
Yeah. That's not part of our assigned quest, right? There's no fucking way I'm going to get
Yes, Andrew, just for you.
Oh
yes,
my God.
It's part of your assigned quest. The
Star
randomizer...
cores and tickets? Come on.
The random character generator said you need 50 star cores and 100,000 ticket points.
Oh my fucking God, no. But seriously, you do have to collect all the star cores to finish Nuka World to turn on the power plant, right? Like, you need all of those, right? Or do you not?
No, what is it in Galactic Zone? I haven't redone it this time. It's been a little while, but I think don't you need like 40 to get the power up and everything in Galactic Zone, but you need all 50 to get the power armor?
Oh, the power armor. That's right. There's a special power armor way up top.
Quantum.
I've forgotten about that.
Yep. But there is there is a threshold to get the power on. Yeah, that is important. But you need a few more to get the quantum power armor.
Yeah.
And the one that you're missing, by the way, anyone playing right now looking for Galactic cores, the one you're missing is up on top of that Galactic Zone building. You don't think it is. You think you checked everywhere. No, you go up on top of that exact building up on the roof. It's up there, okay? Trust me. You're going to find it.
Get your jetpack on.
It's the one people forget all the time. Like, you can even hunt it down with a list. People are like, I'm going over this whole checklist. I looked everywhere. I'm like, look for this one. Trust me. Fly up there.
I'm probably going to use a fucking list, to be honest, because good lord, it's the Star Cores of Baron Zaya. You know what I mean? Just like, good lord. At least they're all concentrated into one small area compared to Skyrim, where they're scattered all over the map. You know what I mean?
It's true.
Yeah.
That is a great mod. The mod to let you know where the stones are.
Yeah.
But so besides that, with Fallout, you might remember, I think I mentioned last episode, I had picked up the Stray double pack. I picked up the game Stray about the cat.
Oh
with
yeah.
the backpack.
Yes.
And I picked up Stray Gods, which is the the role-playing musical game.
How many games with the word stray can you download in one week?
And the movie Strays comes out this weekend with like Will Ferrell and stuff. Check it out in theaters
it
now.
does. Tori and I want to do a date night to go see that because we like lewd dogs.
But yeah, so I didn't end up playing Stray with the cat yet.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, I played through Stray Gods 4 times. I have done
What?
for full playthroughs, and I didn't mean to. Well, I mean, I did. It was a choice I made each time, but it's interesting. I enjoyed the music a lot. I like the premise, but there are achievements and different paths you can take, and you can't do them all in one playthrough. So the game itself is really, I'd say 5 to 6 hours. First playthrough, you're going to be a solid 6, but after that, it's like 4 to 6 because you can start skipping dialogue and stuff. You can't skip during the songs, but you can skip during the, question and answer sections and following your
And this is the
dialogue
one you
tree.
were saying was sort of like the very special musical episode of Buffy,
It is,
okay.
yeah. I was saying it's kind of like Wolf Among Us, the Wolf Among Us comic or game by Telltale, crossed with Buffy once more with feeling. But having played through it, I can say it's also got a little bit of a Sandman vibe to it too, a bit of a Sandman vibe, and a little bit of, say, Life is Strange True Colors for people who played Life is Strange. It's a great game. It's just I really, really liked it. Overall reviews coming in on it are, most people say it's good. There are some who say it's great, and a few who love it like me, because it really depends on if the music catches you or not. One of the things about kind of choose your own musical score, as you go through these songs, picking responses and stuff to actually, keep the music going, is that while they did an amazing job of making this puzzle where everything fits together, some lines of the music are better than others, and you can mix and match in a way that really isn't as good as others, But playing through multiple times like I did, and some songs, I played through the game 4 times, but there were some songs like the Throne song and a few others I probably have played 8 or 9 times, because you can reload and you can redo certain specific songs and stuff like that. You lose all your progress after that if you do, so I only recommend if you have to, but yeah, it's wonderful. But I just found it, like musicals tend to be, it was really cathartic, like just intense. Really interesting choices.
Have you done a playthrough yet where you try to make it worse instead of better? Like where you fuck it up on purpose?
Kind of like 3 attitudes you can take. You can come in there as kind of a charismatic playthrough where, you're dropping the riz and you're, generally caring about people and also being charming. You can be a little bit more clever, a little bit more puckish. And then there's one where you can be kind of hot-headed and a bit punky. Okay, between those different things. And so obviously the hot-headed, you can kind of make a mess of things. But it's overall, no matter how you play, you're going to be the hero. You just might be a little bit messier if, you're coming and punching things too often.
Great. That actually sounds really interesting.
Oh, it is a cool concept. And so I probably put 20 hours into it this week with all those playthroughs. But
20 hours into a 6-hour game, everyone. Did you hear that? Yep. 20 hours into a 6-hour game.
It had achievements. You know how that works.
Absolutely.
Especially in this case where I was trying to figure out how to get them, because there's one for hearing every song in the game. So you have to, truth, everybody, not just achievements, it had romance. you can only romance one character each playthrough. So I had to try all the romance levels, to find out. And they each have their own song too. So to unlock all the songs, you have to do each romance. Anyway, I really enjoyed it. But after that fourth playthrough, after I got all the achievements at 1, I uninstalled because it was at the point where I was clocking out of work. I'm like, I'm gonna go downstairs, play with the pug, put him outside. Oh gosh, I got things I want to do today. Sit down, start playing that game again. Like every night, it was like an addiction. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to play tonight, and then I did for 5-6 nights in a row. So I uninstalled.
Uninstalled.
Sometimes you have to take drastic measures.
Well, you gotta make room for Starfield, right?
Well, exactly. I do want to play Stray, and I got other things to do. But yeah, that was really about it. I did, watch some stuff. Like I mentioned to Ray, I was looking at The Expanse. I pulled out my old Firefly DVDs to watch those. I got those set up by the Xbox, but I haven't actually ever been to watch them. And then, of course, I'm finishing Fringe. I know I've been watching it for like 3-4 months now. I'm near the end of 4th season, only 1 season to go, but I wasn't really in the mood. So I started watching Eureka. Again, it was a totally different show, not even space related. Yeah, it happens.
Oh gosh, what a sellout! Not even space related. Good Lord.
I needed
sci-fi.
Yeah, exactly. It is sci-fi. I needed some charming, funny sci-fi. As much as I do like the dark, intense, deep storylines, sometimes I like lighthearted humor more. It's just kind of what I enjoy. So.
Hey, in the Dames chat, you and Sherry were kind of talking about getting ready for Starfield coming out. Have they announced the file size, or is that already preset into the...
Yeah, a lot of us have it preloaded. If you have it on PC Game Pass or, of course, Xbox, and you've ordered it, you can get it preloaded. I think right now on Xbox, it's a little over 100 gig for the primary files, and with Premium Edition content, it's like 100 I think those are like 16 gigs, so it's like 116, 120 gig. And then I think it's about 10 more on PC, where it might be 126, 130 on PC.
And you would have to clear out some games in order to make room for it and all that.
Sherry had to, yeah. I mean, there is the thing where it, depending on the system you have. For instance, if you have a Series S, one of the biggest complaints about the Xbox Series S is that the default hard drive, well, it says 500 gig. Really, after everything installed on it, etc., you've got about 384 gig of free space.
You mean the operating system and all that after that's installed? Okay.
Exactly. So, while a lot of modern games take up that much room, AAA games tend to. So the majority of like larger games are going to be between 40 and 75 gig, but they're getting bigger. Games like ESO, are up around 100. Obviously, Starfield up around 100. Let's see. I had Cyberpunk installed, Ray, and I think that was 76 or 77 gig. So I didn't uninstall Cyberpunk. I needed to make space too. But anyway, if you had a Series S, really, you can fit, 5 to 10 games on there without too much trouble, unless you're trying to do the biggest games. No. And of course, if you've got an external drive, any games that aren't current generation can go on the external and play. But for new games, current gen games, you need to have them on the internal. But on my Series X, downstairs, I have more room. And it was ESO I ended up uninstalling. And I think, Age of Empires 2. Like, I'm not going to play Age of Empires again.
How dare.
I had to check it out. I'm like, how does it play on console? So I installed it, played a little. Like, this is no Civilization. Then I didn't touch it again. So I finally uninstalled it.
Yeah, I keep clicking on the icon and it says, you're a little too soon. We're not quite ready for Starfield. Please check back in a little bit.
126.1 gig, exactly, says Jason. Green Dragon.
I guess I have it loaded and ready to go. I don't even know. I mean, I
know
have the
your
icon and
system is not good at downloading updates and such.
Yes.
But this one, it should be okay on, because you got it pre-ordered. And it's not like you can be in it and leave it on.
And the icon's on the home screen and everything, so like hopefully it's ready to go.
Is the Xbox in the room near you right now?
It is.
Andrew,
do you want me
is
to
the
turn
Xbox with
off?
you now? I'm curious if it did it for you, because my suspicion has always been that you're just really bad at quitting and turning off your games.
Oh yeah, no, I leave stuff on the home screen all the damn time. Yeah.
Exactly.
Not the home screen, the game, like the game main menu. Like I don't even quit the game most times.
Right, and that's why it doesn't update. Like even if you're still looking at your dashboard, if that's happening in memory, it's not going to update while that's happening.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But you can't do that on Starfield, so it should have pre-installed for you.
And I blame Pat for that because he's always like, man, I hate starting up a game and having it load. I just like it ready to go where I can just sit down and hit start. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. So the last 4 years, I don't shut down games. I just leave them on the
Well, I
game
love
screen.
it because I can go to the stats page, stats for nerds, and like look at time played, and I'm in there. It's ridiculous. On 76, I'm at like 95 or 96 of the top 100 for time played in 76, and I have
Wow.
played a pant load
Yeah.
of 76. But then I look at the top, and you and Selfie and Pat are right up there, like
Well, 'cause
600 days.
Yeah, we'll just leave it on the screen, and they count that. Why do they count that? That's not actually playing the game. It's just on. It's just running.
As far as the system knows, you're in game. Yeah, as far as the system's concerned, you're playing. But
Yeah.
so yeah, me at my paltry, whatever, 160 days or whatever, like just 3,500 hours, whatever it is. No, nothing compared to yours.
600 days. I've literally been playing it for 2.5 years, you guys. I haven't put the controller down.
Fallout 4 comparison wise, though, I was looking because I was actually just checking this out this week, and I'm at like, I don't know, maybe 66 or so, 67 on my list. But apparently I'm friends with a lot of Fallout fans. Some of y'all play a hell of a lot of Fallout. Impressive.
Yeah, you guys are good at Fallout.
Hmm.
But you're only 66 or 67 in ranking of time spent in game. Well, that you said that counts all of me, like me and Pat who just leave it on all the time. So.
Right. Yeah, it seems to. But I mean, the majority aren't necessarily like that. It's hard to tell how much they do and don't. And I feel like on the new Xbox consoles, it's not as bad as it was back on the Xbox One, where it would always count it.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you leave it on now, I don't think it counts quite as badly as it used to.
Dang. Gonna miss my
I know.
8,000 hours achievement.
You got to pump those days up. Those are rookie numbers. 2 years.
Yeah, come on.
But yeah, sometimes I feel guilty. I'm like, I should play more Fallout, because I don't know.
I should play more Fallout.
I mean, I play plenty. We all do, for sure. But I look at those numbers and I'm like, this person has played 20 more days of Fallout 4 than I have. Now, to be fair, it doesn't count, my old install and a few other things, but still.
If you told a person who does not play video games how much time we spent not playing video games in general, but just the Fallout series, they would say you guys have a problem. You need to seek help of some sort, please.
They would be wrong, okay? Because, I mean, we could take a look at how much time they spend watching their favorite TV show, maybe. We could say they have a problem.
Like, well, look how much time you spend working out. Yeah. Do something good for yourself. Play some video games.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's body and soul, man, not just body.
Not
Come
just
on.
body, dude. I know you're cut, but play some Fallout, please.
Those Nuka tickets aren't going to collect themselves.
Exactly.
Huh?
Hello. Beautiful.
Well, the Star Cores will.
Yeah. They'll collect themselves. Can you give me that mod, please?
It's called Get All the Star Cores.
Oh, do they just like...
There's a stack of 35 Star Cores sitting in the corner.
No. And those count for like installing them into the... What do we have to do? We have to... I don't even remember what we have to do to them. We install them somewhere into something. Is there a bank of computers or something?
Yep.
God, it's been so long since I've done this. I'm excited.
Not jealous.
I was listening
it's
to
been
people
forever.
talk about it. I'm just like, man, I need to hop in and play some Nuka World. This is exciting. But then at the same time, I'm like, ooh, I don't want to get too far into it and accidentally play quests that are assigned. Because I was like...
You'll be fine. We're only
stuff.
a month and a half out from the end of the season. You'll be fine. You won't forget that badly. And if you do, Ray and I will just talk you through it. You'll be fine.
There you go. As always. All right. What else you playing there, Jess? You getting anything else?
Nope, that's pretty much it. I mean, I've touched a few little things, but yeah, it's the anticipation for Starfield is obviously pretty big right now. And sometimes when you got stuff like that going on, you can't really think about much else. It can be kind of hard to choose. That's why I kind of lost myself in that musical game. And I mean, I played Redfall this week and stuff too, but that's just the normal.
So here's a mod you need, Jess, if you're going to do the Nuka ticket.
Is it called Get All the Nuka tickets?
No.
It's called Ticket Me.
Sellable Nuka tickets. So you can sell all those tickets you collect for a cap each.
Oh, nice. I thought you were going to say you could just craft them at your chemistry bench.
Rich. That would be so rich. The funny thing about that is, though, is that obviously with mods you don't get achievements, and the only reason I'd be compelled to collect Nuka tickets is for the achievement. Some things you need to have. The Baron Zaya stones you need to have, or you also need to get them out of inventory because they don't stack at first. And that's horrible when you got like 100 of them.
Stones. You don't need those.
Yeah, well, you kind of do. I mean, some things you want to have, every unique weapon in the game. Sure, okay, that's fine. But Nuka tickets, no, they're not berets, okay? Take it easy, people.
And Steve is the only one who's going to actually get the achievement because he's the only one who's not playing with mods anymore, Steve, this not modless, his achievement list. Impressive stuff.
There's a note from Clint in chat mentioning how, like, when he switched over to Steam, he lost a few thousand hours of game time, because it tracks differently. Yeah, that is tough when you're playing multiple systems. And that's, when you're playing on, like, I'm playing 76 on PlayStation. I've only got like 60 hours in PlayStation, probably 150. Well, no, because that's just on Steam. I've probably got like 300 in PC, so it's not anywhere near as much as Xbox, but still, it all adds up.
It do.
That's it for me. How about you?
I also was fairly light in my Fallout, at least Fallout 4 play this week. I went to 76 and I picked up the butterfly garden thing. I haven't hopped in game and built it or anything. But
you haven't built it though? I was gonna ask if you liked it.
No, I haven't built it yet, but I did make sure to go buy it before it disappeared. And I think there was 20 days left on the sale anyway, so I wasn't really gonna cut that deadline close. But I decided, while I'm thinking about it, go get that thing because it sounds pretty cool. And once I saw it in the store, it looked, I don't know what I was imagining, but it looked different than what I was actually. I was sort of picturing like a netted room, it would be like 2 squares by 2 squares sort of like thing, garden, but it's, I don't even know, more of like a door? No, I don't even know. I need to build it in game just to really experience it and take a look at it. But I thought that sounded really cool, so I made sure to hop in and get that. I bought a few other things too, and I noticed I did have a crap ton of atoms because I haven't gone on any shopping sprees recently.
Right.
So maybe I'll save up some of those atoms and buy the later levels of the season if it's getting near the release of Starfield time, and maybe I'll play some quests for Fallout 4 a little early and that sort of thing, and jot some notes down and whatnot so that I can free up some time to get a good experience with Starfield. And please, guys, don't get mad at us if we start chatting a lot of Starfield here in the next couple of weeks, because that's probably going to happen. There's going to be plenty of Starfield podcasts out there, and I get it. But we'll still be Fallout oriented for the most part, but we are going to chat a little bit of Starfield on the side, so
I think we're going to help ourselves. We'll be the show who compares and contrasts Fallout guns versus Starfield guns.
Versus Starfield ships.
Yeah, and camps versus outposts.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I was like I mentioned, a little light in my Fallout play, but I did hop into 4, and I finally got all the way back to Sunshine Tidings. Now I couldn't fast travel anywhere, so I had to take the train back home. But the train trip home was no big thing. It was like just a little bit of a cutscene, and then you were there at the station. Steve said when he came back though that they make you take the whole long train ride again, so I'm not looking forward to that. Now, in order to fast travel, I would have to set up, due to the mods, I'd have to set up a trade route to it. And as we all know, you can't get access to the Red Rocket till much later, even after you beat, I think, basically the whole DLC. I don't even remember when they give you access to the Red Rocket, but I think you might have to power up the park. And then I think maybe you get access. I don't remember exactly when that is. But I always thought it was dumb that they didn't give you access to a settlement until after you're done playing that whole area.
Yeah, just the Fizz Top Grill area you can live, but it's not a settlement per se.
No, I can't send a trade route to that. There's no workbench there or anything, so it's not a real settlement. So I can't send a trade, not purveyor, what are they called, provisioner, to a settlement, and so I can't fast travel back and forth. So it's all going to be riding the train back and forth if I want to do that. But I did have to go back to Sunshine Tidings. I decided, you can just dump all your stuff in the overboss's trunk up in Fizz Top. So I went back to that cigarette machine that I had dropped everything in earlier on, picked up all that junk, did the slow walk back up to Fizz Top and dumped all that junk in there. But then I was looking around and I was like, all right, cat meat, let's go around and look at the stuff here in the park. This will be fun. Cat meat. Cat meat?
Where's cat meat?
Cat meat, where are you, buddy? Evidently, at some point in this whole interaction of completing the, the gauntlet and running up to Fizz Top, that Fuzz Top is where cat meat lives. But somewhere along the line, I dismissed cat meat and Gage was my follower. So I don't remember doing that interaction. But he was definitely following me around. I went down the elevator and Gage was with me. I was like, fuck you, dude. Where's my cat? So I went everyone all the way back to Sunshine Tidings, which, after I moved all my stuff up to Fizz Top, take the elevator back down. Everyone goes down to the bus station. We hop on the train, get on the tram, go all the way back to the mainland and, get into Sunshine Tidings. And there's cat meat running around back at camp. I'm like, okay, well, I'm glad I found you. Gage is right here on my heels. So I hopped into build mode and assigned Gage to Sunshine Tidings. So he's going to stay there, and I'm going to take cat meat back. But my character is really just parked at Sunshine, so I didn't really do anything besides move junk up to Fizz Top and then go and get cat meat again. Those are my
It's
my
quite
two
a
big
trek.
things.
And, cat meat's going to love the park. You wouldn't want to do it without him.
He's a good kitty. He likes rides.
Also,
yeah.
opening up the Red Rocket is worse than you think, Andrew.
Oh, no. What?
If you're playing the Raider side, so it's open anytime after you do open season, which is where you wipe out the Raiders for, kind of help the traders and settlers who are there, which you can do anytime, even before you take over the parks.
Oh, really?
You just have to go to the gauntlet, and then you can, talk to them, you can side with them and wipe out the Raiders for open season. But if you're doing Raiders, like a lot of us are,
Like we
you
all
have to do
are.
power play, and that's the quest where you have to establish 3 settlements in the Commonwealth for the Raiders. So you're not going to get it till you're actually
Which you
establishing
can only
settlements in there.
do that until after you've completed everything and powered up the park
Exactly.
and done all that.
Yep.
Okay. Bummer. It's okay. It's okay. So yeah, after all of that, really the majority of my gameplay this week has been, I've really been hitting the Fallout Shelter survival mode really hard this week. That's what I spent a lot of my game time playing. And I mentioned that I had started one vault, but everyone just kept getting demolished by fires spreading all over the place. Mole rats coming up and just popping in this room, killing everyone, popping in the next room, killing everyone. And in survival mode, you can't just revive the person if they're dead for an amount of caps. They're actually dead and they're gone. You still get to retain any outfits, weapons, and pets that they have on them, which is a good thing. So you don't actually lose that stuff. You actually get to loot the body before you shove them into a hole and bury them forever, which is, I find that's accurate. But
It's true. You need to use the whole animal. You don't want to waste.
why aren't we eating these dead people? Come on, let's get the cannibal perk on and finally make the use of this. But so I spread out the rooms, and that helped the fires. That situation, so the fires don't spread all over the place. I built a stim pack room almost immediately as soon as I could, and I'm getting as many stim packs as I can. I left all the men standing outside, so there's still 8 guys standing outside. I'm only inviting women in and keeping them pregnant at all times so that they don't interact with anything that's bad. They always flee from fires, from raider attacks, and everything. And you don't even let them birth the babies. You just keep them eternally pregnant, and they don't actually fight anything.
Who didn't catch the transition, we're not talking about Andrew's Gilead. We're talking about his survival shelter.
Who says? So and I've also employed a new strategy where I'm not actually playing the game for any length of time. I'm hopping in, collecting all the stuff, and before there's a chance for a fire to hit or raiders to attack or anything, I'm logging out of the game. So I'm literally only logged in for like 45 seconds just to tap all the stuff and log out really quickly. And that is keeping everyone alive. Like last time I got up to 24 people and then like a bunch of people died. And I got back up to like 30 people and then everyone died. And then, so this time I've only lost 2 people altogether, but it's because I'm playing the game by not playing the game. You know what I mean? I keep it open for 45 seconds, tap all the stuff, collect it real quick, and then shut it down. And they don't have time. They don't have time to attack.
Like when you go to Costco or Sam's Club just for the the day when all the free samples are out there.
Super
Just
sale,
walk through, grab the
free
samples, and leave.
free samples. I'm out. Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're doing. But it also means that I have a crap ton of stim packs now, so that if I do get caught with a raider attack or something, then I can just pump everyone with stim packs and don't have to worry about. Because if you have like an extra room, well, what the strategy is, if the raiders do attack and they get into the vault, which has happened a couple of times, they start, they go down one room and then they go down a level. They go off to the right side, but since I don't have a left side to there, they go down a level again. But all you do is drag your players, the dwellers, to the room that they just left. So you just drag them there, and they don't repeat a room ever. So they go weave back and forth all the way to the bottom, and once they get to the bottom of your vault, they just leave.
Yeah, if you don't have a full house, that works. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so you have to have a space to move people to. That's the key. You have to have enough rooms that we can have a free room to always have someone you backfill where the raiders had just left. But
yeah, so the first room of every vault is your panic room.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I'm going to make it the Overseer's vault. But the drawback is you don't get any of the raider stuff, because early on in the game, before you start going out on expeditions with the Overseer's desk, killing raiders and taking their guns and outfits is really the main way to get those things, and other than lunch boxes that you could get by doing your daily quests, or those little they're not called achievements, the little, I don't know, there's always 3 things to do, but usually I've noticed objectives, there you go. I've noticed in survival mode that it's almost always caps. I rarely ever get an opportunity to earn a lunchbox in survival mode. For some, it's almost always just caps. I rarely even get a Nuka Cola, the Nuka Quantums that let you speed up processes. And I don't really see the whole value in those really anyway. I don't use a ton of those when I play.
They feel pretty wasteful unless you really want to get somebody back from the wasteland to send them back out or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny. I sent a couple people out to go out into the wasteland to collect stuff, because that was some objectives like send a dweller into the wasteland, and I sent them out and everything. Then I called them back, but I didn't let them back in the vault. They're still standing outside waiting on food. So that's how you keep people alive, because those people who are out front, when raiders come attack, they just flee off behind the hill on the far side of the map. So I'm trying to figure out how to game the game with survival mode. So I've been having fun doing that. I've been playing lots of survival mode and shelter. Well, playing. I've been playing it by not playing it. So that's what I've been spending my game time on this week. And Jess, I wanted to ask you, you're getting, I think, close to passing me level wise in 4, weren't you? Have you got to level like 90 or 80 or 100 yet?
I think I'm 88 now, maybe 89.
You are catching up. That's great.
Yeah. The grinding worked, especially there were so many quests I had put off that when I came back to the mainland a couple times during Far Harbor, I really, between that and the difficulty of the enemies in Far Harbor, leveled up a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good job. This is by far the highest character level I've had in Fallout 4.
I'm going to get there by the end, unless I started to peter out a little bit, on the round table because of doing other things. Got to get some good play in and finish more of the main quest, because I want this character to do everything in survival. The entire main story and the DLCs. Like, that's just cool, and it's not as tough as it was now. Like we've talked about how as you level up, survival is not anywhere near as bad now as it was.
Oh,
50
it's a piece
levels
of
ago.
cake compared to the beginning of the game. It's torturous, the first 10 levels.
Still die more than normal. Like the usual level curve is, squishy, rugged, and then invincible by level 40 or 50. And now it's like squishy, rugged. Okay, I can hold my own most of the time. Like it's not the usual curve, but it's still, as you level up, it makes a big difference.
Sometimes I just think back as like, I wonder what the hell I was thinking when constructing a character playing Fallout 4 back in the day, because, and I know in survival mode we deal more damage, we receive more damage, but we also deal more damage. But like, if I can pull out my explosive 10mm pistol and take down a Mirelurk Queen in like 6 to 10 shots, and like the thing dies, like, why was I even bothering with my rifle builds where I would have to shoot it 100 times and then like reload and shoot and reload and run.
The
like
occasional Deathclaw matriarch, the behemoth, like the bigger creatures, because you just never know, especially those first couple times you play. You never know what's around the corner. The enemies do keep leveling up with you, and they also respawn more often when you're not in survival too. Like that is a big difference. The lower respawn rate, I think, has made a huge difference.
It's a ghost town when you clear out an area. You're right. Yeah. So that was my gameplay. All right. You know what, guys? We got a little bit of feedback to get into from our community members, Eric, Clint, and Katherine. So why don't we go ahead and check in to see what they're doing over there in Nuka World? What do you say?
Let's go.
Hello, fellow Wastelanders. Eric, aka Sulior here, and I thought I'd tell you how I got through the gauntlet and into Nuka World. So I left off saying that I wasn't sure whether or not I was going to take the Brotherhood of Steel Power Armor with me. I figured, I may not use it the whole time. I really don't care for using Power Armor, but for certain areas like Kitty Kingdom and maybe even dealing with the Gator Claws and Nuka Lurks would really give me an edge. So yeah, I loaded up at the Pridwin with stim packs and fusion cores, things like that, and made my way to the train station, which really wasn't that far away. I want to say it was right by Oberlin Station. It really wasn't too far away. So really didn't have any trouble getting to the train. The Assaultron was busy dealing with the raiders there, so it was no problem running up behind it, taking it out with my katana, and taking out the remaining raiders, because that the Assaultron was probably the most dangerous thing there. So went down and talked to the guy. He refused my stim pack, and I guess I just didn't press him on knowing whether or not he was there to lure me to Nuka World, or lure me into the trap, because if I did know that, I probably would have chopped his head off. Bastard. Anyway, so yeah, I took the train and made my way to the gauntlet. The gauntlet, oh my god. I got blown to hell I don't know how many times, either by dog meat tripping something, or me myself, not really, because it'd been a couple years since I've done it. I did do Nuka World fairly recently, but I did the gauntlet, I think, around the time we did the last Fallout 4 Roundtable. So I kind of stopped after I got in there and hadn't gone back to it until a few months ago. So I didn't really remember much about the gauntlet until the very end. So all of those traps with the grenade blossoms, I think they were called, so whatever, bouquets. Yeah, it was kind of a trial and error process for me. I surprisingly didn't get killed by the turrets. I don't think I did. Swear I'm Normal was actually watching me do all this, because I was streaming it. And the stream got cut like 3 or 4 times, unfortunately, but I just started it up again, whatever. Don't know what was going on with that. It only seems to happen with Fallout 4 for whatever reason. But yeah, that one area where you choose the 3 doors. I chose the right door first, but went down in there and couldn't find the key. So the whole time I'm taking rats, I'm like, okay, what the hell am I supposed to do here? They've got to give you a way to get through if you don't have your lockpicking skill. Like, they can't make it to where you're trapped behind a door. Really? Right? Or a passcode, like a terminal. So, yeah, I figured there had to be some sort of out that you had to take. And, I did eventually find the key. After going back and forth several times, taking rat away, I did have a couple of refreshing beverages on me, but I completely forgot that I had them. But yeah, I slowly but surely made my way through. I did try the trick of turning all those big knobs, the valves, the big knob valves. Of course, the whole time Red Eye was taunting you really pissed me off. I actually like listening to Red Eye's radio station, but not a big fan of him giving me shit the entire time going through the gauntlet. But yeah, I slowly but surely made my way through after getting killed several times. By the way, I mentioned in the last time that I thought my save was getting a little bloated. It turns out that all of my quick saves have been stacking up. So it doesn't only save 3 at a time. For whatever reason with me, it saves all of them. Or, I mean, not all of them. They do disappear after a while. Like it saved the very beginning, and then it saves right as soon as you leave the vault. But I don't think I switched it to survival until after I left the no right. That's not true, because I think I did get killed by the rad roaches in the vault once. So I think I did start it right away. But I don't know. But for whatever reason, it saves, I don't know, maybe 30 quick saves. I don't know. Maybe I'm just special. I mean, I know I'm special, but you get what I'm trying to say. So I've had to go through and delete a lot of those old quick saves, and hopefully that'll make things a little bit more stable. So, yeah, I found the room in the back, grabbed the fusion core, which I guess sucked 30% of Coulter's power up, and yeah, I went up to him with Thirst Zapper, got cocky. You know how it is when I get cocky, and shorted out his suit, and he managed to kill me regardless the first time. So the second time did the same thing, and he didn't get a shot on me. It took 3 or 4 hits with my katana, and he was done. So yeah, not nearly as brutal as I thought it was. I said something about this during the show. As I'm recording this, it's Saturday, and those flying ants, were not nearly as much of a pain in the ass as they were in Mad Rock. I don't know what it was, but in Mad Rock they were horrible, but they weren't nearly as bad here. I don't know. Maybe they're not going to be as bad in the western themed area of the park. I guess we'll find out. I do remember them kind of being a pain in the ass the last time I went through. So yeah, I made it through and went to talk to Gage. I'm glad I didn't. I think I did stream that part. But yeah, sitting there listening to Gage was kind of torturous. Like, that took forever. Such a long conversation. But then he goes and sends you to meet the different groups. Yeah, basically Gage just told you that he was backing Coulter there for a bit, but then Coulter, as time went on, got soft, so everybody was like, okay, screw this guy. So they did kind of set him up. I talked to the disciples first. Of course, they're very sadistic. They're my assigned faction, so we'll see how that goes. And one thing I noticed, Nisha is wearing this like Creature of the Black Lagoon looking helm, and it completely covers her eyes. Like, how the hell can she see? I don't know. Just it's just something I was kind of thinking about while I was talking to her the whole time. I just couldn't stop staring at that Creature from the Black Lagoon mask. I'm like, that looks inhibiting. Anyway, operators, all they really care about is making caps. Don't really have an issue with that. Pack, of course, love their animals. They had a dog fighting ring in the middle of their area. Oh, I did have a crash right around there. I was talking to, what the hell is his name? Mason? Yeah, Mason. And I passed all those speech checks, got that rifle, and then I had a crash. I was like, fuck, I don't think I've saved since before I finished the gauntlet. So I thought I was screwed there for a minute, but it turns out it actually somehow auto-saved when I actually went in to talk to Mason, so thank God. I kind of had a heart attack there for a minute. But yeah, I was able to pass all those speech checks again, gave Mason shit, and he rewarded me with that rifle. He basically, hey, don't make me look bad in front of my people. Yeah, the rifle, the problem solver rifle, that's what it's called. I did save that. Oh, I forgot to mention that I did take Coulter's power armor pieces just to see how they compared, to see if I could use them later on in the playthrough for Nuka World. And they had a lot of environmental protection, like energy, radiation, things like that. But as far as actual hit points go, not nearly as much. So I don't know if I'm actually going to use it or not. I guess we'll find out. I did save it. So anyway, yeah, that's where I'm at now. Talk to everybody. I'm currently level 51, and somehow I've managed to talk for over 10 minutes. Sorry. But you know how it is with me, I guess. So yeah, that is where I'm at. I'm looking forward to getting into doing all these. Regardless of what I said about the nuke orcs and the gator claws and all that shit, radiation. So yeah, let's do this, guys, and I will see you all in Nuka World.
See us in Nuka World. Not if we see you first, dude. The valves. I think skipping half of the gauntlet, I missed the valves part. What remind me of the valves thing?
That was the one I was complaining about last week, where I was
you had
gassed
to spin the
and kept
big,
lighting a
the
fire
gassed,
yeah.
right? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he liked listening to Red Eye Radio. I forgot that he had his actually own radio station. He doesn't just taunt you from the sky. What is the?
Yeah, that's Andrew WK, and he's on there.
Nice.
He plays some music. He's playing through some of the radios too. So just walking around, Nuka World, USA, the main area, you hear a lot of his.
Can you
stuff.
tune your Pip-Boy to
Yes.
Red Eye Radio? What sort of music does it play? Does it play Andrew WK songs?
Yeah, he's got like 4 or 5 originals that are mixed in there.
No
plus
way.
talking.
That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. That's fun. I'd laugh. It was just like, no, it's talk radio.
That would be fantastic.
Sports talk radio, of course. Very fun. He also mentioned I found the fusion core that stole 30% of Coulter's power. What was he talking? Was he talking about popping it out of the back of his power armor or something? There's a generator somewhere, and you take a fusion core out, and
that actually affects the amount of charge he's getting. I wasn't aware of that. Is
that true, Ray?
Vaguely remember something about that.
Okay.
Nothing I've ever played with.
Interesting.
But so Coulter's gun is not powered by the bumper car grid.
Yeah. Can you short it out?
Shorting out the power armor lets you attack him, but it doesn't stop him from attacking you. Just
I see your point. Right.
Note to self there.
He could shoot back.
Yeah.
even if he's out of his power armor. So, power armor. Are there fingers in the power armor gloves? There would have to be. Are they not powered by the suit? Because you have to have a finger to be able to pull the trigger. You know what I mean? Huh.
You don't have crushing grip, so my guess is that they're just armored fingers.
Okay, so
Not
they're not actually
powered fingers.
powered armored fingers. I always wondered why you couldn't use melee weapons in power armor. Or you can use melee, I mean unarmed.
Unarmed, yeah.
Unarmed weapons. You can't use those. Like I can't put on a
But-
Deathclaw gauntlet.
But you
in
can do
power
the
armor.
Bloody Knuckles mod or something if you want for your power armor, right?
Right,
Yeah.
you can do
Yeah.
that punching. Right, that would be fun.
Yeah, they're isotoner. They're like isotoner armor, like really form fitting.
My mom had isotoners. Oh, very cool. Thank you, Eric. Any other thoughts there, you guys?
You mentioned having a little bit of trouble in the gauntlet. I do get that. Dog meat can be a menace. Gotta love him, but yeah, don't let dog meat go first in the gauntlet, or the Automatron DLC, or a lot of places he can cause some trouble. I mean, until your sneak perks are decent.
Yeah.
He's not setting stuff up for me too much these days.
Yeah, if you get
Yeah.
Sneak 3 or whatever, they don't. Your followers also don't. It applies to them, so they don't set off traps either. I found. I was like, hey, that's
yeah,
great.
it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He mentioned the saves to the quick save. So
Yeah.
there are multiple quick save mods and the way things are done. What he's describing as his experience is not something I've seen or heard of. If you're using the Journey quick save mod, it only has the 3 quick save slots, and that's it. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what makes them a quick save is that they get overwritten. But Survival Options has its own save item. So if you're saving using an item in your aid called save item, okay, it's just called save item is the name of it. That makes a hard save. So with Journey, you just get the quick save item as far as I know, which is in a separate section. And then with Survival Options, you can do either a quick save or a hard save. And so if you're using the wrong one there, those are going to build up. So maybe just check which one you're using. Or if you have a different mod that adds other ways to save, that may be causing the trouble. But there shouldn't be any automatic saves in Survival, and it should only be the 3 quick save slots.
Should be,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. Yeah, he's got some,
Yeah, mods
got some
can change
stuff
things up
going
for
on.
sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, Eric. Thank you for your lovely feedback all season long. Keep it up. Looking forward to hearing the continuation and conclusion of your adventure over there in Nuka World.
One last thing before
Yeah.
our feedback from Clint.
Mhm.
We have some live feedback in chat from Clint.
Uh-oh.
Where he's talking about the fusion core, mentioning it's before you go into the arena. There's a hole in the wall in the ready room that leads to generators where you can remove a battery. Gauge then informs the power is down by 30%. So you can pull from the ready room through a hole in the wall a fusion core that will lower the power in the armor.
And how would that reflect in the battle? Would that mean that his damage resistance is 30% less, or how would that
Yeah,
manifest?
I would assume 30% less on damage resistance, or
Okay.
maybe it's how much damage it takes to make it short out with the
Okay.
water gun. One or the other.
Isn't it just like one squirt and it shorts out? Is it you have to squirt him a
It
bunch?
takes a few squirts.
Does it?
Guess it
Okay.
depends how long you hold the trigger.
Pull that trigger, fellas.
Hmm.
All right, great. Thank you so much there, Eric. We'll go ahead and hear from Clint. Clint's live in chat tonight. Hi, Clint. Good to hear from you, sir. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
G'day all. Here we are, episode 8, Nuka World, part 1. Peterson had been hearing a catchy tune over her Pip-Boy radio about a theme park Nuka World. Couldn't be still operating after the war and 200 plus years, could it?
No.
Well, she picked up her old Flame McCready, and with Curie and the doc in tow, they travelled to the west and found the old entrance. And just in time too, as a group of gunners looked like they were about to go in. It might have been fun to hold back and follow them in, but Peterson thought it best to take them out while they were still all together and in this small space. Her quiet pistol took care of the 2 rooftop guards, but their death screams alerted the boss, and it was on. However, they were no match for Peterson's little crew, and she only had to snipe one from the rooftop to finish off that little skirmish. Down in the monorail station, they came across an apparently injured man called Harvey, whose story quickly fell apart, and he gave them the password to the terminal to get the monorail going. All aboard, and while Peterson was listening to the happy voiceover, a new voice cut in, introducing himself as Porter Gage, warning them of a dangerous game ahead. Arriving at the station, the PA announced they had a new victim to run some kind of gauntlet. Macready, the big sook, wanted to go home.
Attention all my favorite undesirables out there. In case you haven't noticed, looks like we got ourselves some fresh meat to run the gauntlet.
Yeah, we should get the heck out of here. Now would be good.
I'll think about it.
But his love for Peterson must have been stronger because he stayed. Down the first set of stairs was a dead body, and while searching for any handy loot, Peterson noticed the ill-fitting door with a chain on the other side. Using a blade, she unhooked the chain and opened the door, soon finding herself outside the monorail station.
Yay!
They walked a short way into Nuka Town entrance, and it looked like it was overrun by various types of raiders. It seemed to meet up with this Gage character. Peterson still needed to finish off the gauntlet, so she found her way into the final section, which included swarms of deadly ants, flying and crawling. The flying ones are especially deadly, just saying. Then a couple of raiders tried taking them out from above, but they were quickly dispensed with by the crew, while Peterson ran around to the only door and was inside. She found herself in an arena with a man in a strange power armour being bolted into the suit. He soon introduced himself as Coulter, the overboss of Nuka Town, and Peterson was expected to take part in a fight to the death with him in his invincible suit. Great.
Here's a quick rundown how this works. You go stock up, make yourself presentable. Then we're going to give these folks a show. A show where I decorate these walls here with your lovely brains.
Hang on, was that a compliment? Peterson was glad she had a crew to back her up. Going down into the locker room, Gage contacted her via intercom and gave her a plan of using a squirt gun to spray water and neutralise the suit. Well, this shouldn't be too hard then. With her crew, it'd be 4 on to 1. But to her surprise, as she entered the final room, the door slammed shut in her friends' faces and she was alone. Bugger.
Shut him out.
It wasn't as easy as she thought, but the squirt gun idea worked, and she wore Coulter down and finished him off. The crowd didn't seem too happy, but Gage was okay with it. She appointed Peterson the Nuka Town overboss and asked her to meet him in Coulter's Viztop Mountain lair. Here he explained that she needed to take control of the 3 raider factions, and it'd be a good idea to go meet with their respective leaders. Peterson did this and didn't take any flack from them. After all, they were only raiders. One of them, called Mason, the pack leader, even gave her one of his special rifles. How nice. So tune in next time we meet in the Nuka World Wasteland to see how Peterson fares. Cheers.
Cheers, Clint. Thank you for your feedback, sir. Where do you guys think Coulter's from with that accent? Is that a British thing? Is he like a...
Maybe he's related to
London.
Kate. It's funny. The actor who played Coulter is actually an Englishman, but it feels like he specifically mishmashed a bunch of accents together, because you get a bit of Cockney, some Dick Van Dyke in there. Like it's all over the place.
Oh, I love that Dick Van Dyke. That's a good one. Oh, beautiful. They shut out his companions from that. I'm surprised that you didn't do the thing where, oh my God, no, they're shut out. The door locked him out. Oh no, I'm in the battle myself. Let me turn around real quick and then turn around again. Oh wait, here they are. You know what I mean? Like how you turn the corner and your followers, oh, they disappear. Oh, here they are. I just turned around and there they are. They were there the whole time. But that's interesting that it actually shuts them out. Of course they do, but I just thought I found that interesting. They took the time to shut them out.
Yeah,
Yes.
they get locked back in the room.
According to the wiki, Coulter speaks in a blend of various English accents.
It does say a blend? That's hilarious.
There we go.
Good job, Jess.
Well, that's what it sounds like. Is that you're like, I can't quite place where you're from. It's because you're from a little bit of everywhere.
What is this thing you posted in the chat of the Nuka World Is this Clint? You've got McCready and Dogmeat with you, and
Yeah, so that's a picture of a level from Nuka World Online. I mean, from Fallout Shelter Online, which we can't play. But look at that. Look at that. You're there out there questing and you're fighting creatures. You're at Nuka World.
That's amazing.
So cool.
Can
We need to
Clint
get
play it
Shelter
since
Online.
he's from Oceania region, or is it just Asia Pacific that they?
I mean,
that
technically we all could if we, spoofed our
spoke
location and
Japanese.
downloaded it. Yeah, not being able to read anything is the biggest issue with it. I have friends who have tried to play, and they said it's rather difficult.
Is there like some way to translate? Can you have a translating program do that? Like, is that possible? Have
There
an
are
an
programs
overlay?
that allow that with other games where it does add an overlay, but I don't know. I don't think Shelter has that. But some things are. I mean, there's enough icons, and some things are self-explanatory that once you know the buttons, you know it.
Mm-hmm. It's just like
Also,
once you know the Japanese characters, you know it.
Yeah, I mean, look in the upper left there. It says eliminate all enemies. So there you go.
Yeah, it does have stuff in English there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. It's funny because it looks like these people are the same people that Clint had in his party at Nuka World. Got Dogmeat and McCready there, obviously. Very cute. I want to play Nuka World online. Or no. I said it too, damn it.
Well, because we're looking, it says Nuka World like big and bold in our face.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I really enjoyed the companion chatter and the dialogue there.
Clint,
so
I
thanks
love
for including that. That was
Clint
fun.
drops in his clips. That's always very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Love hearing that mishmash of different British accents. That's great. The only reason I noticed that is because he dropped in that sound clip there. I wouldn't have asked that question otherwise. Very cool. Thank you, Clint. Always much appreciated. Enjoy your really nice storytelling methods there. I want to take all of Clint's feedback and sort of string them all together and just listen to his complete story of his adventure. That'd be fun.
I mean, you can do that with a lot of our participants sending in feedback.
Yeah.
The story of Nuke, the story of Peterson.
Absolutely.
It's a good time. A lot of the characters are like that. Like hearing the ongoing story of these characters, not just our own, is part of what makes feedback so fun because they do have personalities that develop as you play. And we've got a little bit less feedback this week than some people getting busy with things already finished up. As we talked about, some people's games are not going so well right now because of mods and crashing.
Stay away from downtown Boston. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a downtown Boston in Nuka World somewhere that mods and clutter have caused crashing issues that we know of? Is there a problem?
We haven't been to Galactic Zone yet. I would guess if anywhere had issues, it would be Galactic Zone because of how much stuff spawns there. But no, I not that I know of.
Okay, good. It's like avoiding a hurdle in the future. Yeah. Cool. Very good, Clint. Thank you, sir. Looking forward to hearing your continued adventures and conclusion as we near the end of this season. So keep up the good work, sir. All right, we've got one more batch of feedback here from Katherine, who was on the show a few weeks ago. Brought a game, if you remember. Everyone loved it. So, Katherine, thanks for your contributions, and let's take a listen.
Hi Fallout friends, this is Katherine. It's way too hot outside right now for me to not have my car running and my AC running while I record this, so if there's any sort of feedback or noise, I apologize. I did not submit feedback the last 2 weeks because I was just a busy little bee. I did make an attempt at Automatron, so I made it to the point where I killed the first 2 Robobrains. I did have that glitch where, like, inside of the General Atomics factory, the floor wasn't there. It was just, like, white in some parts, but I got through it. And that first Robo-Brain was really nasty. I think I ended up, the only way I killed him was by placing a bunch of mines outside of that door that you have to unlock before he comes out. And I think where I left off is I still need to travel to the Fort Hagen satellite array to kill the Rust Devils. So the plan is, I just didn't get to it, and I'm gonna try and come back to it between clearing some of the Nuka World parks and some of the stuff in Nuka World. What I did with the rest of the week was, I did some more work to some of my settlements, specifically the Red Rocket, which I've never actually built up. I've always just used Sanctuary, and I think they're just so close together that I never really thought that I could build up Red Rocket in that way, but I put some floors down on top of the Red Rocket, which I've seen before, but it actually worked really well, and I like how it looks so far. And then Sunshine Tidings Co-op, I also built up a little bit since it's so close to the Nuka World Park. And I was specifically working on getting vendors at those settlements because I hadn't worked on that yet this playthrough, and I was really tired of running from Hangman's Alley to Diamond City to just, like, sell all my stuff all the time.
Yes.
And I realized that the Nuka World Market is also a thing, though, so did I waste my time? Maybe, but it's nice to have vendors. I also have the Vault Tech rep at the Red Rocket, but I had never assigned him as a vendor, and I think he's like one of those special vendors for armor or weapons or something, so I'm going to try and work on that. So, on my way to Nuka World, I hit the federal ration stockpile, and after clearing that place so many playthroughs, I still never remember where that little door is inside that takes you out into the little chapel. And honestly, for a place that has the name Federal Rations, I expected more. But I guess the raiders had been kind of pigging out on those rations for years, and I got what was left, which was like 2 purified water and 3 Yum Yum deviled eggs.
Why are there 2 really fat raiders?
Approaching Nuka World, I picked up Nick Valentine again, and I have dog meat with me, of course. And I forgot to get Kate. I'll probably come back before clearing the parks and grab her. And I also made sure to put Nick in an empty power armor frame on purpose so that he could kind of carry my Overboss power armor set. He looks pretty scary in that thing, I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was really weird that I didn't find an Assaultron outside the transit center, but I also began my assault by throwing like 6 grenades just randomly into the group of gunners, and they all kind of went flying. Thanks to my max demolition expert perk. Or almost max. I think I need one more perk. I'm only level 36 or 37 now, so I think 42 is when I can get the last one, or that might be Gunslinger. Anyway, the remaining few that were left and Commander Kaler, I gunned down with Kellogg's pistol because I still, even after putting perk points into Scrounger, I just never have 10mm ammo for this explosive pistol, and it's making me a little salty. So when I went inside, Everdeen kind of acted as if she really cared about Harvey's story, because she wouldn't know any better. I haven't decided what she will do when she finds out that she got scammed and meets him later on, but we'll get to that. The Gauntlet I split up into 2 different play sessions because things went amazing until about halfway through. I love shooting the turrets with that little 10mm pistol I have and watching the explosive pistol just tear them apart. Especially when, like, in that room, they're piled all over each other, and they'll set each other off because of the splash damage. And I was able to just kind of take out a bunch of them at a time. I didn't face my first death until the tunnel with all of the frag mines, in which I did the little creep up, disarm, pick up strategy until I could see the end. What I didn't see was that the frag mine that they put behind the excavator that sits right in front of the exit to the next room. Hence, I restarted the Gauntlet because we all know I blew up. I did forget about that glitch though, where mines don't respawn if they were picked up or activated in a previous save. So I had no, mines to deal with in this room the second time around. I just walked right by. My next problem area was the room with the gas, and I think I died at least 3 or 4 times. And the final solution to my problem was not only kind of memorizing where the key and the holotape password were, but then I also got rid of all my rads and then downed Buff Out, Mirelurk Clean Steak, Hydra, which is from Wasteland Imports, Med-X, and then I just prayed as I kind of ran through there. Of course, Nick in his power armor and dog meat were only slightly obnoxious when they stood in the doorway I needed, but they ended up taking out the rad roaches for me, so I can't really complain. By the time I got to the part where you walk the plank or kill the Mirelurks, I had no 10mm ammo left, and my only other weapon was Kellogg's pistol,
God, that
which
sounds
has
familiar.
a much slower fire rate than what I had gotten used to this whole playthrough. I've been heavily relying on VATS for the 10mm as I have high luck and a lot of the other critical perks. And I posted a funny video last night in the Facebook group of my little dancing Mirelurk spawn that was floating on top of the water upside down. Also, did anyone ever notice Crag, the super mutant down there? He's got a cute little flight helmet on, and his note was cute about kind of killing the raiders, and then the next step was to make the perfect meat bag. The rest of the gauntlet was pretty unproblematic. I basically got to the chain link part where they shoot up from above you, and I ran for my fucking life as a bunch of the raiders up top had the little skull symbol. And I wasn't even going to try because my health was shit from the room with the gas and all of these rats that I had taken. So when I finally rolled up into the Colicars arena, I was beaten to a pulp. But I got to work trying to figure out how I could kill Coulter with 10 rounds of 10mm and Kellogg's pistol. It was super tough, like a lot tougher than any of my playthroughs before. I eventually took him down using 3 rounds of the Thirst Zapper, and then some carefully thrown frag grenades. And after I did so, I picked up those power armor pieces and then immediately realized that I couldn't figure out how to get Nick to step out of the damn power armor to give him the pieces. I had to travel all the way until I found a terminal by the Nuka World Market to tell him to inspect it, which means that he could step out of his power armor. I'm probably sure there was an easier way to do this, but I couldn't figure it out, and on console, trying to find the perfect way to get the inspect thing to show up or the exit power armor to show up is kind of annoying sometimes, so I was just happy to fix my broken legs at that point and get rid of the weight. Then I went and spoke to the 3 raider leaders, and I used the back down or don't tell me what to do options when I talked to them. Everyone was assigned the Commonwealth to side with, but I think she still would take the time to kind of put these people in their place before killing anyone. And then I traveled to Fizztop Mountain to speak to Gage, and I had this panic moment when I realized that I was supposed to go to Gage first before meeting all of the leaders, but it worked out though. When I went to talk to him, he said that I had just proactively already introduced myself. Whew. Anyway, that's where I called it a night so far. I'm really excited for Nuka World. I'm excited to clear the parks in the coming weeks, and happy wastelanding, friends.
Beautiful. Thank you, Catherine. I haven't actually looked at the schedule. I was going to do that before I played next. Are we tackling a couple different park sections at a time as we go through?
Yeah, we're going to be doing 2 per 2 weeks, essentially.
Okay.
So, like, if I'm looking next week,
I think it's going to be 5 sections of the park, or 6?
Yes.
5.
Yep,
right?
We've got Kitty Kingdom, World of Refreshment, and Safari Adventure. So we've got 3 next week.
Okay.
And that's because the Galactic Zone and the Wild West area, those both take a little bit longer. Actually, that's not necessarily true. I'm suddenly forgetting the name of the
Galactic
Wild West
Zone
area.
Dry Gulch something. Dry something
Yes.
Gulch. Dry Rock Gulch, maybe?
Dry Rock Gulch, that's it. Yep. So Dry Rock Gulch is medium. It's not that long, but
those
Galactic
fucking
Zone, definitely long.
bloodworms. God damn those bloodworms. Jeez.
Mm-hmm. Whereas while you can get kind of lost in Kitty Kingdom, it can take a little bit navigating. It's really not that long. And same with World of Refreshment. The biggest problem with World of Refreshment is, you go through the whole, it's a small world kind of deal, and you got to find the right place to go, to kill everything in there, which that can be complicated because one can elude you for a bit. But really, both of those aren't too bad. So yeah, we've got 3 next week we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Safari Adventures where we meet Kato.
Chibo.
Yeah, I like Kato.
And the Gator Claws.
Kato. Right. Okay. So let's see. Kitty Kingdom is that the painted ghouls, right?
Yeah, with Oswald.
Oswald. Safari, right, is the Gator Claws. The Wild West one, Dry Rock
and the
Gulch.
Ghoulrillas.
Ghoulrillas. I'm excited about them.
That's Kato's family.
They're my favorite rock hip hop group, the Ghoulrillas.
The hardest thing about World of Refreshment is the Nuka Lurk Queen.
Nuka Lurks. Oh, fuck you. I just remembered the Nuka Lurks. God. Those are like Mirelurks times 100. They're the worst.
At least times 2. Yeah.
Well, yeah, come on. Got over exaggerate a little bit.
Absolutely.
Oh, gee whiz. See, and the Galactic Zone self-explanatory, all the space stuff, right? The aliens that are turrets, right? Those are fun. I forgot about those guys.
Hate those. I hate those. They get you. In the Gauntlet, there's that one, which is kind of your preview there. And
right.
Yeah. Yep.
She just kind of said it in passing, but did she say Nick in power armor?
Yeah, she's got her Nick in power armor.
Nick,
isn't that odd?
Can you assign them to get into power armor?
You can tell your
companions to do
power armor.
Even Nick, huh?
I know yours don't listen to you.
No,
but others do.
I mean, that's really interesting. Nick in power armor. For some reason, that really struck my ear as odd. Like, why would a synth get in power armor? It's like a mix of the Institute and it's the Brotherhood of Institute right there. Run away, everyone.
It's all metal all the way down.
It was Crag the super mutant. That's not the Behemoth guy. No, that was a different area.
He's a dead dude. So I didn't run into him this playthrough. But Crag, she's mentioning, is in the little trench there when you fall off the rickety bridge and you've got that area with the Mirelurks coming up around we talked about.
Yes.
So Crag's a dead super mutant in there. And if you kind of look over him, you discover his note. And I've been dropping a lot of pictures in chat tonight, but it's his master plan. And so he's going in and he's going to find the Raider play park. He's going to crush the Raiders. He's going to make the best meat bag. He's going to take stuff, and then he's going to win.
That is a good master plan. What do you think goes into making the best meat bag?
Just the choicest bits. Probably a lot of the pack.
Deathclaw, the belly uses a sack. Yeah.
Maybe best meat bag is just a whole lot of meat. Like, maybe it's not about quality. It's really about quantity.
The quantity of best meat.
It's a big park.
I wonder if Crag would have gotten invited to Graham's meat cook. I don't know about that. That's awesome, Catherine. Thanks for the feedback. Should we talk a little bit about the Vault Tech rep and she hadn't assigned him to a vendor yet. When you assign that guy to a vendor, can you assign him to any sort of is he like a clothing vendor? What do you think he sells?
He's tier 4 for general goods.
Yeah.
General goods?
Yep.
Actually he sells spots in a vault. That's what he sells.
I'll carry that too.
Yes. All right, beautiful. And I thought it was funny that she made a point that she didn't think that she would just go and kill. She's assigned the Commonwealth, so she just wouldn't go and kill these raiders. She would have to put them in their place before killing them. Like, if you're gonna kill them anyway, why do you have to waste your breath and things? She wants them to know that she is devious. Just like twisting the knife a little bit as you kill them. That's good.
That's what gets villains in trouble. You think you're all good. You start monologuing. Next thing you know, they get the upper hand. You got to be careful.
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. As he explains the evil plan. Beautiful stuff. Thank you, Catherine. Appreciate your feedback. I know we all get busy. It's okay. Got a little behind on the Automatron. Thank you so much for hopping right back into Nuka World. I'm excited to hear your continued adventures. Thanks so much for sending it in, you guys. That concludes our feedback for tonight. So why don't we hop into a little bit of...
What time is it? Game time!
And on Game Time this week, we are playing...
Pigcorn?
Yes, that's right, Vendertron. We're playing some...
Pigcorn?
We haven't played Pigcorn in a very long time. If you remember, Pigcorn is a variation of our Scream at Your Phone list. See, I pick a category of items, and, the Scream list is usually Ray and Jess would have to bounce back and forth and each name an item from the category until they exhaust the entire list. Now, Pigcorn, the twist is I give them hints, and I change the words of the items so that they're clues to what the item is going to be. Usually it's just I take synonyms and sort of just say the same word synonyms of the words, and they kind of guess the categories through the list. Now, Pig Corn is slightly different. We don't bounce back and forth. We do a little bit more of a buzz in with your name, and so we can see if we can guess what these items are. And this week's version of
Ray. Nuka World.
Oh, you got the first one. All right. We're playing Atomic Land. So, yes, Nuka World is the theme. And you know what? I didn't actually open the list. Hang on just a second. I'm not prepared. I can't believe I did that. All right, so we will...
so instead of game time, it's game time.
Game time, wait. All right, so Ray got the first one, of course. It's Atomic Land, Nuka World. So you that's our a good sort of lead-in hint. You see what we're gonna do here. Let's go ahead and roll on here. You guys be the first to buzz in with your name if you can guess these categories, these items from Nuka World. This is just Nuka World stuff. All right. This first one is our good buddies, Vile and Liddy.
Jess. Bottle and Cappy.
Bottle and Cappy, absolutely. Number 2 is the Smack a Socialist. Smack a Socialist.
Go ahead, Jess.
Okay. Whack-a-commie.
Whack-a-commie. Good job, Jess.
We're all patriotic. We get that one.
Smack a Socialist. Okay. Next, we have the Arid Stone Valley. Where's the Arid Stone Valley?
We just discussed that one.
Yeah, we did. Dry Rock Gulch.
Ray with the Dry Rock Gulch. Very good. Next is the Space Area. Jess.
Galactic Zone.
I
love that we've been
Beautiful.
talking through all these, and now we get them.
Yeah, you killed our whole game here. All right. Next we have Earth of Snacks. Any takers? Any takers?
I'm not sure that snacks really works, but Jess.
Yes.
World of Refreshment.
Yeah, what are you gonna do with refreshment? What's a good synonym for refreshment?
I don't know.
Stumbled upon that a little bit too.
Yeah,
I guess we could do that. Okay, next is the Child Domain.
Or Kitty Kingdom.
The Kitty Kingdom. Good job, Ray. And next we have the Expedition Experience. The Expedition Experience.
Jess? Is it Safari Adventure?
Safari Adventure it is. Good job. Next we have the Atomic Village America. Village America.
Can you do this one, Ray?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Nuka Town, USA.
Nuka Town, USA. Very good. All right. Next we have Bubble Peak Hill.
Ooh, is that Fizz Top Mountain?
Fizz Top Mountain it is. Good job, Jess. And this is the only one that could be slightly difficult here. What is the Hankering Attacker?
Ooh, a hanker for a hunk of cheese.
A hanker for a
or
hunk
a
of
thirst
cheese.
zapper.
The Thirst Zapper is correct. Good job, you guys. You nailed all 10 of our items in this week's edition of Atomic Land.
Pig corn?
No, I meant Nuka World. Thank you, Vendertron. All right, guys. Thanks for playing this week's edition of...
What time is it?
Game Time. Huh. And let's roll into our iguana bits for the week. What do we got, Jess?
Well, we got a few fresh iguana bits to get into. First of all, as announced earlier at the beginning of this
Don't
week,
even say it.
much to Andrew's chagrin
It's a
and
knife in the
Roan's heard
ribs.
round
Ugh.
the wasteland. Next season is next week, the 22nd. This season ends and a new season begins.
That's just unfair.
The scoreboard is dead. Long live the scoreboard.
The scoreboard is dead. Long live the scoreboard. Long die the scoreboard.
It's interesting
because
because
I didn't get a single level, Doc.
I was gonna say, Ray, what did you top out at? 0?
Yes, indeed.
He didn't
you
even
locked
log
in
in.
that score retirement.
He's working hard. What are the benefits of score retirement? You get some sort of a good payout from
Oh yeah,
collecting
definitely got a golden parachute.
golden parachute from the score
Yeah.
retirement.
It's called all those hours that I
Saved
can
Free
put
time.
into
that you can go watch
Mhm.
the Expanse, right? Perfect. Oh, enjoy, Ray. I wish I could join
Yeah.
you. I will someday. I really will.
Maybe.
As soon as I stop paying for Fallout first, whenever that happens, then I'll stop doing the scoreboard. How about that?
Yeah, that was about a year ago for me.
Did they coincide at all? Did you ever finish a scoreboard? Was that ever a thing on your list of things to do?
I'm pretty sure I finished the first couple.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like you did at least the first 5 or 6 even.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
I don't
we're
think
up to 13, right? Season 14 is the next one. We're currently on 13.
I can't believe we've done that many already. That's pretty intense.
Finished all but one. How about you, Andrew? You finished all of them, right?
Yeah, I've got them all so far. Until that score retirement itch hits.
We'll see if it actually happens. You know, they'll find a way to hook you. It's interesting.
They always do.
In chat, people are kind of talking about their levels. Salior's at 112. Sullivan's still at 2.
Wow.
Good job, Sullivan. More than double Ray's level. Clint's only at 102, which is, unusual because there have been times when he and Charlene are way over 100. But he hit the end of the board and hasn't played 76 since because he's been doing 4. Green Dragon is at 130 something. Randy is at 140. A lot of people chiming in. So that is some good stuff. Y'all did very well.
Good Lord, Randy, what are you doing?
I'm only at like 104. You know.
Yeah, I stopped at 100. I doubt I'm more than 20 XP above level 1. It's amazing how quickly I hit that and then like drop the controller and walk away.
Think about the speed though. Think about the difference now. So first of all, anyway, it is the 22nd. It is next week, next Tuesday. It's switching over. That is quicker than even I predicted. I was thinking we get 10 weeks. I'm like, this is a short season. But probably end of the month, probably get it at the same time as Meat Week because they have to do a server update for Meat Week anyway. Might as well load in the new season and the whole server update at the same time. But no, it seems like they want to get the one done and then the other. And it makes sense because Meat Week, while there are some changes and new things coming with it, they can preload that with a regular update and then just activate the event and hopefully everything's up and running. As Ray was saying, pulling an Uncle Pete on us, if you don't know, they've got this little thing going on, another game releasing. I think they just want to get things wrapped up, nice and neat for us who are going to be playing and not checking out Starfield or just dallying, get that done out of the way. So yeah, that's happening 9 weeks, which is tied for the shortest season ever. There was previously one other 9-week season.
9 weeks.
Let's see. Beyond that, what else do I have going on here in the Iguana Bits? Oh, the theme for the season. I should get into that. So the theme next season is going to be, it's a patriotic. It's called Fight for Freedom.
Oh, no.
And,
is this a brotherhood thing or something?
Seems to be patriotism. Like there's some Enclave stuff mixed in for sure. Definitely some Enclave stuff, but then just a lot of pre-war patriotism. So that's going to be fun. The graphic for it, they're showing a big parade with a bunch of flags and Vault Boy, Nuka Cola, all those important icons. Liberty Prime is even in the back of the parade, which I just think is awesome. Obviously, I don't think we would have Liberty Prime actually marching in a parade.
It was about 9 weeks ago that would have been totally appropriate for, would have been that whole July 4th thing that we do in this country. They're
always a little behind.
They're a couple months behind all the time.
When it's perfect for an Alien season, the month after the Alien event,
exactly.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, right. Perfect.
Same with the Atomic Shop. We just got a UFO a week or two ago.
Oh.
That UFO prefab is awesome. But
Yeah, you think they would have a meeting, organize hey, you guys over there in event scheduling, you guys over here in Atomic Shop schedule, let's get together and compare. Nah, let's not compare notes.
So we've seen a lot of the data mined items from the next season, but they haven't been officially set up yet. A lot of times preseason, a good week or two before they update the seasons page on fallout.bethesda.net. They haven't, but we do know that we've got a new ally named Grandma Junko.
Oh, nice. Is that a robot?
I don't think she is. No, I think she's just a grandma, but I don't know. Here's the description. Grandma Junko is on a mission to find her grandchildren. She thinks her memory isn't what it used to be, but she can still cook up a good old-fashioned home-cooked meal for you.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
Nice.
she makes you cookies.
Oh, man, she bakes me a cranberry cobbler, which isn't a pie.
Yes, chat's asking. Grandma Junko, exactly. Junko. Also, they're doing some presidential power armor skins. So, yeah, you can get your power armor looking all extra patriotic. The Oval Office. So you're going to get Oval Office decor, wallpaper, and Oval Office rugs and such to kind of create your little patriotic themed base. And the Auto Miner Collectron. So this is a Collectron that, of all things, goes out and brings back ore.
Oh, okay.
Which I would say people generally don't want. Maybe early game, especially when you're trying to get your excavator armor and stuff at first. Getting some ore is important, but as someone who really enjoys doing breach and clear and events like that, I don't even bother with the ore anymore. I used to.
Sell it or junk it, right? Yeah.
All it does is fill up your inventory, weigh you down, and it's not actually junk. You got to put it in a scrap box and then smelt it with the acid.
Make some,
the auto miners do look really cool, so there is that.
Oh,
like the drill arm, and they're
they
yellow
do.
with the stripes and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's all the info we have on the season right now. Those are some highlights that I know are coming. And as far as how long it will last, we don't know. But expect the usual, at least 12 weeks.
You said
that is their average.
You said some like presidential paint jobs or something like that. That kind of sparked my mind. Wait a second, isn't there like a presidential suite along the row of houses there in the White Springs with the hand scanners and stuff? Are we ever going to get into those motherfucking houses? Like, what is up
villages
with that?
We can't get into. There are rooms inside the White Spring we can't get into. There is in the Enclave base. Oh, by the way, spoilers, but for those of you who don't know, there's actually a secret Enclave base under the White Spring. And if you get in there, there's the presidential area that you have to,
glitch.
Use yes to get in. I try not to say that word, but yes, you have to do that in order to get into the area, which the presidential suite, pretty darn cool.
Is it like Skyrim where you pick up a plate and push it against the wall until you get through the door? You guys ever seen that in Skyrim? That's fun.
Like the photo mode trick that you use in the,
right, okay.
The silo and stuff.
Get your camera inside, okay.
Yeah, but they double walled it now, so it doesn't work anymore. But you used to be able to. So maybe this time, wouldn't it be awesome if they actually opened that area up? There's all these areas. We thought originally with the expeditions, they might slowly branch out in the White Spring. And I do think that was maybe the plan with what they're doing. But now they've made expeditions. They're like, wait, people hate making stew every week. Oh, I don't think I've ever bitched about it on the show. Pardon me. But I can't make stew anymore.
What?
Okay, when they first made it so you didn't need to make stew or do scrap junk for Sophie or, do the different quests in the White Spring for the refuge,
right?
You could still do them. You just didn't need to do it to charge your battery.
Charge the pack,
well,
right?
Now you can't even do it.
What, you can't even walking up to her? She doesn't let you go through and find the salt, find the pepper? Do you?
No.
Not at all? Wow.
No. It's done. And I realize that people are like, yeah, Jess, whatever. Nobody likes that. Well, you know what? Some people like to make stew. I'm scared of the stew. That's how we start. We need to use the venison, okay? This is an important part of my routine.
Venison.
And if I want to flatten some venison, let me do it.
I like how you say venison. That's great.
The other reason for that is because you get reputation. If you're a person who doesn't have full raider reputation or settler reputation, when you make the stew and do that whole thing, whoever you give it to, you get rep for that faction. Well, if you can't do the quest, you can't get rep for the faction. There's a 200 rep per session that you can only get. I think it was 200. I'm not positive. It still took a hell of a lot of stew, but it's just another way for people to get rep. So yeah, I'm nostalgic for a thing we never wanted. I don't know. This game does things to you. You play it long enough.
It's punishing you into thinking you enjoy that process.
But y'all went through the refuge with us live when we originally did it on the episode where we played it. And of course, many of us have done the refuge many times, going through and doing the expeditions. Was that only a year ago? Well, that was only last September, right?
Feels like a lifetime, doesn't it?
I'm starting to think. There was a minute I was thinking, is that 2 years ago? No,
No.
it's not quite one. Well, not quite 1 year ago. It was 11 months ago that we first got our expeditions.
Wow. And they've already written it off as like it doesn't exist. It's gonna be the new nuclear winter. Like they're gonna totally scrap it before too long.
Expeditions are still definitely a thing, but I don't think they're implementing it quite like they had originally planned.
Nope.
And I do think the White Springs hub, they had a better idea for it. They really wanted, and people talking with Beth about various things. When they're asking, doing polls and asking people's opinions. We talked about how a player hub was important. Okay, like you used to have in the basement of the White Spring, and so they kind of fixed that up a bit. They made it so the White Spring shopping mall was better again. But you still need to fast travel and get into the building to use it, and so people get confused by that double fast travel thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the refuge as a meeting ground, once again, it's locked behind a wall. It's instant, so you have to join with your leader if you want to be there with them.
Yeah.
So it was a pain. And then they actually gave us the first real player hub we've had in forever with Nuka World. The Nuka World on tour.
Yeah.
That is a real player hub, because even though the events there, people don't always do the events anymore like they did when they were new, but that is the best location to just do everything you need to do: scrapping, legendaries, crafting, all the things. You've got all that right there.
True.
So that's what people are using as a player hub, and I think player hubs are important because they add a sense of community where where you can actually run into people and stuff while you're playing the game, which events do that too a little bit. But that was really the biggest thing with Wastelanders that divided, in my opinion, the player base, was that Foundation became a hub. The Wayward became a little bit of a hub. Crater became a hub. And of course, then still the White Spring, in the mall before they revamped it, was a hub. And none of the hubs had everything, but they all had something. And so it was really kind of splitting the player base. Well, now we've got, I do think Nuka World on tour is the place where people go the most. So that's good to have. But I'm going down a real path here. Anyway, the White Spring Refuge, I just had to pitch. So I think they had plans for it that aren't going to come to be. I still hope they flesh out some of those rooms a little bit. And they haven't given up on expeditions, but they're definitely going to simplify the way to get there to help encourage people to actually do them.
Well, I clearly remember saying, oh, this past season that we just finished the scoreboard for, it wasn't that bad. I remember actually saying that, oh, it wasn't as bad as it was in seasons past. And you just made me realize why it wasn't so bad. It's because
we rolled all your expeditions.
We didn't even have expeditions assigned this whole season, I don't think. I don't think once that was go kill 20, I even forget what the monsters in the expedition are called, but we didn't,
like the trogs and stuff.
The trogs, I don't remember one time where it was assigned go kill 10 trogs or whatever.
I'm trying to think if I saw trogs or fanatics on the challenge list at all. Yeah. I don't think I saw trogs or fanatics either. I bet they were possible to pop up, but there were so many. There was so much variety this season, especially with the rerolls. I really like that.
Oh, and yeah, it's this is the first time I've used rerolls, and they make so much faster, so much easier.
Isn't it nice?
Yeah,
and
great.
Think about it. Okay, on the length of the season, we're talking about 9 weeks now, but I hit Scorecation a week and a half ago. A lot of you hit it 2, 3, 4 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So first season, it took us almost the full 12, 13 weeks to even get there. We're just barely making it.
Yeah.
A lot of the seasons in the middle, 10 weeks, 11 weeks, and now I'm finishing with not even being as dedicated as I used to be in 7, and other people 4, 5. It's become much easier for sure.
So earlier in the show, you're talking about, do your weeklies on Monday night and then Tuesday afternoon, so you can double dip your XP, your score boost thing. That makes me want to just re-roll all my weeklies until they come up as epic weeklies.
You only have so many re-rollers, though.
Well, I've got 40 of them saved up because I never used them before. So, I could just, a couple of times that I decide to do that, use them on the weeklies, the re-rolls on the weeklies that I don't want to do, and just keep re-rolling them until they come up as the epics when you get twice the amount of score for them.
I've done that several times. Yeah, because epics are worth more. Yeah. But you might take 4, 5, 6 re-rolls to get an epic. So the epic you get might be kind of crappy.
Well, I'm not using them anyway. What good are they doing me sitting there in my, did we still get them on this scoreboard? Did we get a few re-rolls along the way?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Yeah, so if I keep getting them, who cares?
I never ran out.
Spend them, yeah. I've got 30 or 40 of them saved up, so why not use them? They're not doing me any
Clint
good
says
just sitting there.
They re-roll the daily ops every day, and that's a great one to re-roll. And yeah, this whole season, the scoreboard has been great. You know, a lot of people have said best scoreboard yet. It was, but then again, the one with all the junk, the typewriter and fans and stuff, that was pretty great.
Yeah.
And next season,
The movie
some of the
stuff
stuff
was
we're
good.
seeing for it is going to be pretty great. I really feel like when it comes to like items and stuff in game, they've been killing it. You know, the new people doing more of the objects and 3D models of the objects and the interactivity and all the different things. They've really been killing it. Unfortunately, that's not a quest. Like a lot of us, we love our outfits and our camp building and this and that. But, there are times when I totally agree with Jerry's assessment that they've just turned it into camps the last 2 years, just focusing on camps. And I mean, they're not. We get some fun events. We've gotten a ton of fun events the last couple of years and such. But
Jerry
we're
wants
not
a
getting that
story and he
enough.
wants a quest. Yeah. Oh, I hope that the caged bird this upcoming season for the patriotic season is like we get a bald eagle in a cage. How fun would that be? Come on.
For the patriotic season, a bald eagle in a cage? That's so wrong.
That's very anti-patriotic.
Put him on it like a perch. A really cool like
Oh, like the
ledge.
raven
That'd be great.
perch, right? Yeah, that could work. Reskin that raven perch.
Let's
Very
see what else is
nice.
going on. Well, looking ahead at the calendar, Meat Week is coming up. Meat Week starts on the 29th, so that's not this Tuesday, but the Tuesday after. It is 2 helpings of Meat Week, so that's like the 29th to September 12th. Of course, for most of that time, you'll all be playing Starfield,
Yeah.
but it's happening. Graham does have new rewards like we talked about. First of all, Graham is selling new plans. We talked about trying to find Graham to get the new plans and strategies for
haven't
doing
done
that. And
that,
a lot of
yeah.
people, they got some, but they haven't got all. So now with him at Meat Week, you've got 2 solid weeks of knowing where Graham will be every time you log in.
Oh, and he'll
Shop
have those
inventory.
plans there at the meat cook as well. Okay. Well, makes it
Yep.
easy.
It's a mix. He won't have them all at once. So it's still, it's a bit random, but you'll be able to get them from him.
And can you
Also,
Sorry, go ahead.
for the actual event, I was going to mention that there are the new plans as well. You've got a bunch of kind of cool pig plushies.
Pig plushies?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds oinktacular.
There are 3 different pigs, and with the barbecue theme,
Oh,
it's a
right.
good time. Mhm.
Nice. Yeah, I was I already forgot what I was gonna say. Never mind. Go ahead.
All good. And then looking ahead, that's really it on the calendar you need to know about. Besides that, double mutations and sales and all the things that aren't really events, but they sometimes list as events.
Yeah, I thought of
however-
what I was gonna say. Sorry, real quick before I forget again. You know how in Fashnacht where you could hop onto a main server and do it real quick, and then hop onto a private server and get it to roll again? Can you do that with Meat Week with Graham's plans? Do you think, where you can get the plans on a private server after you?
Yeah, he'll have.
Okay,
Mhm.
nice.
Yep. But you can also do that just by hopping to friends. Hopping to friends on a different server and checking out Graham's inventory.
Will Graham sell to you like during the event? Like if I don't want to complete it on the private server, will he sell to you
He
during
doesn't
the
need to have
event?
the event to buy. You can talk to him in between.
And he'll always
events.
be there, right?
Mhm.
He doesn't wander off like he's the
Assuming
only
he's not
at the...
running away like he used to.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, but he's just there at all times now. Like he's not just there during the event. Okay, cool.
Right. Like he was the first couple times he did Meat Week, and then he had 2 Meat Weeks where he wandered off,
Yeah, I remember
A lot.
that. Yeah, people were pissed.
chasing radstags, hanging out. I mean, I found him in the ash heap in the middle of Meat Week. Like, why would you
What?
go to the ash heap during Meat Week?
He's gonna cook some mole miners.
Clint
Roasted
mentions the
mole
3 little
miners.
pigs, no wolf. Yeah, we've got the new wolf outfit. So
Oh, that'll be fun.
3 little pigs theme. But I wanted to mention that not only do we have the new
House of
season
brick,
starting
house
next
of
week,
straw.
but a lot of the updates they've been testing, the quality of life stuff mostly, on the public test server are going to be coming out with this update too. Now, the new things that we tried, where we talked about how when you make a new character, you leave the vault, you can pick, like Ray tried, where you can do a character, basically a theme, an archetype, like a class kind of, where you get specific perks and a goal and the basic equipment to be able to do that. You can also start at level 20 and get that stuff.
Nice.
So that's not going to be in this update yet.
Oh,
But we are getting a couple of the other things going on, including the new free cam mode in camps. So you've been able to build in free cam mode.
Yep.
But now they're making photo mode in your camp area completely free cam.
Oh, so you can finally do those aerial shots and stuff. Oh, that'll be nice.
Yep. Lot bigger range of motion. So there's that stuff, and then we're getting the perk adjustments they made as well, where a lot of perks are getting slight tweaks and changes.
Uh-oh.
I'm not going into them all now. If you're interested, go check out the PTS update notes. If you go to the Bethesda.net and you want to search it out, look up July 2023 PTS, and you should get the updates from, because it was a month and a half ago they rolled out.
That just means they're going to nerf your shotguns again, Jess. That's all that means. You know,
I don't think they could nerf them anymore. Okay, if they're going to nerf my shotguns more, it's going to be literal Nerf guns.
It'll be a Nerf gun. It'll be shooting soft darts at people.
Yeah,
Lord.
like just bouncing stuff off of them. Oh my God. Oh, it's the worst. It is the worst.
I can't believe that you're still. I can't believe you're still dedicated to it, though. That you're still sticking strong, even though they've taken the venom out of the asp. That's crazy that you're still sticking with the.
My character likes shotguns.
She loves them shotguns.
Yeah, it's just who she is. Like, we all have our thing.
She loves a checkered fedora and a shotgun. Not fedora.
Exactly.
What are those called? Beret. A checkered beret and a shotgun.
Andrew, Ray. I have too many berets on PC.
No, you don't. No such thing.
I mean, no such thing. But the other day I was trying to find an outfit for a photo shoot. I was literally scrolling past berets for a minute.
Half hour of berets.
Like berets all the way down because they don't stack.
Why?
It's just
that is something that I was always baffled with. Why not stack the Fashnacht masks? Like, why do those individualize in the category list?
Right. And if they didn't at first, why can't they now?
Yeah, like that is just crazy. That's weird. Most other things stack, Give me parentheses and a number, please.
A stack of 99 berets. 99 cute berets.
Flashed in my head too. Good one.
So that is what we have for the season and the update. And like I said, a number of other little quality of life things, but we got that. So that's really it for Fallout 76 in the news currently. Important news moving on is that the Starfield review codes are out. Starfield has left the building, ladies and gentlemen.
It's here. What's a review code?
So essentially, it's an access code for someone who's playing it specifically for review.
Oh, I see what you mean. Right. Okay.
So those of us who have Premium Edition, we get early access codes, and some other people will get early access codes where they might, for different reasons, get a copy of it from Bethesda for various things. But review codes, review early access is actually, it varies depending on the company and the game, but people are getting a full 2 weeks early access for review. So codes went out, a lot of them yesterday, some more today. And so people are playing Starfield. People from a number of, review sites, journalists from various game sites. Honestly, a number of my closest friends are all currently able to play Starfield and getting in there, going to dig in.
I was just about to ask, Jess, you seem to rub elbows with some of the people involved with the company producing this game, and you seem to be sort of like known on the internet as like a respected game opinion person. You don't quite write game reviews and such, but like I was going to ask, like, I think Jess might actually get early access to this game just because of all the people she knows and all the good stuff she does, and the Bethesda. They might just sort of like, hey, Jess, tell us what you think about this. But still, she probably wouldn't be able to tell us, you guys. They'd make her sign some sort of weird NDA or whatever where she wouldn't be. So I think that really she does have it, but she's just not allowed.
They did have her sign it.
They did.
Actually,
she's not allowed to tell us that she has it.
People are encouraged to mention if they are currently playing it.
Right. That's what they told you to say.
People listening this far into the show, I know y'all. Okay, so I am kicking myself so hard because I may have had opportunities and I may have, just not gone for it because I don't do reviews. That's not what I do as much, and so it just I didn't. Yeah. Anyway, long story short, I am not currently playing Starfield. Doesn't mean I'm not working with stuff.
That's what she has to say because the NDA, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, sure, exactly, exactly. But there are people out there playing codes. It's really exciting. It's funny. We've been joking about a bunch of reviews going to drop at once because, because this is a review code. People who don't normally do reviews who got access, in most cases, are going to try to do some form of review, and whatever medium they mostly do, whether it's a video or stream or podcast review or written review. So there are going to be a lot of reviews out there. Bethesda, I can say, is very confident in Starfield. Normally, so first of all, on a big game like this, they have a couple times done 2-3 weeks ahead, and sometimes even a play event. But for them to do that with Starfield, 2 solid weeks of play before early access starts, and that's when the review embargo drops to the day before on the 31st. They're not just giving it to the biggest sites. It's not just IGN and GameSpot. It's not just Game Informer. It is influencer reviewers, content creators, medium-sized YouTubers who have done stuff with Bethesda. So yeah, there are more people getting it than there normally would be. And the reason that they're doing that and being so free with it is because it would appear that they're quite confident that people are going to enjoy it. And they want the good news to get out there that when the game releases, all these people who have hopefully enjoyed themselves, because obviously they can't say a thing before the game drops, can tell you that they loved it. So we'll see.
So hopefully they can't do any of that until the official launch date, not the pre-release date. Is it the pre-release date that
the embargo? The embargo is up on the 31st. So for the pre-release date, yep, that we all have.
Crap. Oh,
well, that's kind of how reviews.
I mean, it's not like I'm going to pay attention to them anyway, because I'm going to be playing Starfield. So I won't be watching their videos, but
yeah, experience it yourself.
Yes,
I don't. There isn't any reason. I've already ordered it. There isn't any reason for me to care what anybody else thinks.
Well, I mean, we kind of all have, especially I know with everybody listening here. Like, yeah, a lot of us have it ahead. I mean, reviews are meant to be out before you buy the game in a lot of places if you want that as a tool. And with a game like Starfield, even 2 weeks, in a lot of cases, it'll still be a review in progress. You can say, here was my 50 hours with the game. Here's my 60 hours with the game. But have you finished it? No, of course you haven't.
Well,
but a lot of people don't.
If I had 2 weeks, it'd be 180 hours of gameplay.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't like spoilers too, which once again, we're avoiding such things, and not just during this, review period where we're not able to actually play it, but even once it comes out, so a lot of people won't be, watching that kind of stuff, but it'll be the usual. There'll be people streaming as soon as they're allowed to once the pre-release happens, like the early access, I should call it, not pre-release. Once early access happens. And the majority of reviews will, of course, try to be spoiler-free. And if they're not, hopefully they will tell you.
Yeah, big spoiler alert. I think people know internet etiquette these days and have to give spoiler alerts, right? Come on. How many copies do you think are going to sell day one, plus all of the, pre-orders and such? What is that number going to look like?
We don't know what the numbers are right now, but it's interesting. There have been polls done. Like I saw a poll recently about, are you just playing it through Game Pass? Are you buying a premium upgrade? Are you buying the full game outright? The various ways that people might be obtaining it, a collector's edition. And funnily enough, on this poll, it was like 37% going to play it through Game Pass, but the other 63% were all buying it in some fashion, whether buying that premium upgrade, like we all are here, in order to be able to, use your Game Pass version and do early access, whether you're buying the entire thing because you don't have Game Pass or because you just want to own it right out, or, Constellation Edition, however you're doing it. Yeah, a lot of people are going to buy it. So, but that's why it's hard to say, is because a lot of people can play just because they have a Game Pass membership. Okay, so say there's 25 to 28 million people who currently have Game Pass, and say 20% of them try it. That's 5 million right there. They're going to be trying it.
Good Lord.
Will they do it day one? Well, it's going to be in the zeitgeist. People are hyped for this game in a way that they aren't always. I mean, obviously our crew is, Bethesda fans are, but it's really hit the public consciousness quite a bit. So I see a lot of people, even if they're not playing early access, but I bet the first week or so, amount of copies played, 5 million plus. More, maybe 10 million. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but if I'm remembering correctly, what was Fallout 4? Was it 10 million in the first 30 days?
Here I have the first day. It was 1.2 million copies, but I thought that Fallout 4 was the best selling on the first day, but I look at Skyrim, it was 3.5 on the first day.
Yeah, I
That's
think
crazy.
we're talking first week. I think first week.
Okay.
Fallout 4 was ahead of Skyrim,
That's amazing.
but I'd have to double check all that. Obviously, Skyrim has sold over 60 million copies now.
Yeah.
And we don't have the
you
most
have 5 different
up-to-date
versions
figures.
on every system that you have, so that makes more sense.
They
What
don't always publish their total sales.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't. And you catch up when they reference them. Like, I feel like the Fallout 4 number was most recently referenced in like 2020. And at that point, yeah, I think it was 10 to 12 million that first week.
the
maybe
one,
it was
the 1.2 is
launch
only on Steam. I'm sorry, that doesn't count consoles as well. Sorry.
And that's why it's hard to track, because you have to kind of track players rather than sales in this world of Game Pass and stuff being a service like that.
Now you mentioned a possibility of as many, if only 20% of the Game Pass people play. That's 5 million right there. How in their record keeping do they count that? Do they count that as a sold game if someone plays it through Game Pass, or because they didn't
That's why
really
they've changed
buy
their
the
metric.
game?
I'm sure they have multiple internal metrics, right? I mean, wouldn't you figure, Ray? Like, they're not just tracking sales.
But I think the game companies get credit for Xbox Game Pass downloads.
Yeah, they definitely do. So that will be, essentially players is kind of the new metric. That's why, Xbox no longer talks about number of Xboxes sold, but it's really more number of Xbox Live members. Or, sorry, Game Pass members now, especially with things converting.
They keep changing.
That's another funny thing about converting the way Xbox Live works, rolling into like the bottom tier of Game Pass. As they do that, the lowest tier of Game Pass Core, is that now they can say all those people belong to Game Pass. And trust me, there are way more Xbox Live members than there were Game Pass members. So that's why when I said 25, 28, that was using the old metrics.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the new conversion will be when they kind of reclassify them.
And Starfield is in Game Pass now. Like
100%.
when it drops, it's everyone on Game Pass can play it too.
Yep, September 6th, or if you got the upgrade, Well,
I guess that makes sense because now Microsoft owns Bethesda. I keep forgetting that they did that whole purchase of the entire company there too. So it makes sense that they would let all of their people have access. Otherwise, Bethesda probably would not want it to be. Well, I guess they would want it to be on Game Pass because people could be exposed to it. But I would say that they would get a sale if they weren't owned by Microsoft. They'd have better sales numbers if people couldn't access it through Game Pass. But now that they are owned by Microsoft, that makes more sense for the game. Yeah, have access on Game Pass, of course. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's pretty much just the information about Starfield reviews being out. Just wanted to kind of mention that to people that just get hype, because a lot of people are playing and we're going to hear what they think of it, in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And we're going to get to play it for ourselves in a couple weeks, even more importantly.
Ooh,
Ray's like, I
huzzah.
don't care what they think of it. I'm ready to play.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's very exciting. That's very exciting. Talking to people about what we're going to do for it for streams, and like a lot of excitement in the community.
Absolutely.
And then finally, I marked
Palpable.
down bullet points from the AMA. There was an Ask Me Anything, but we don't actually need to go over those. That's Starfield stuff. We can save it for another podcast, another time. But the Ask Me Anything that happened with Emil Pagliarulo and Will Shen, that was on Tuesday in the Bethesda Discord. There were 16 questions. Yeah, they took 16 questions, and it was not a video. Some people thought it was going to be a video. It was not. It was a classic Reddit-style AMA.
Oh, nice.
Where they essentially answered the questions via text, a couple things each chiming in, and yeah, really enjoyable. So you can find those bullet points various places, and there are some videos on them now too.
Beautiful.
But there was some
And like we
good stuff.
discussed, the most important one was that photo mode is only going to be on PC.
Wait, what? Wait, what? He's trolling
Ray was
us, right?
teasing
He's
me on Twitter
trolling us, right?
yesterday. Yes. Oh, he was trolling me specifically, like on my tweet about it. He's like, "Oh, really? Yeah, it was interesting when we talked about how it was only on PC," and he actually made me think for a second. Like,
psych.
Yeah.
Well, it struck me because it worked out so well, because we had just had the photo mode conversation on Skyrim,
Yeah, I figured that's where it came from. Yeah, that I was joking in our Discord on the Skyrim channel that PC gets all the things, and you guys have photo mode now too. So you have photo mode on Fallout 4 and Skyrim.
Yeah.
You spoiled PC folks.
Yep.
All right, we got any more news Iguana Bits to touch on?
That's pretty much all I've got. I was just looking quickly. Reddit top stories. I found this one incredibly amusing last month. I got kicked from my team for eating people. So I have the cannibal perk.
Of course.
I knew you could eat NPCs, but I was surprised when I went to heal my teammate accidentally ate him because I didn't have any stim packs. This is the first time this happened. With this new knowledge, I ate my fellow teammates all afternoon until I was told to stop eating people and was kicked from the team.
Christian can
I think
attest
Christian
to this.
was Ray was eating Christian the other that's a couple years ago now, isn't it?
Yeah, that was when it first became a thing.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's you run out of stim packs. It's so easy to do. It's so easy to do.
Munch. Thanks, buddy.
This is a PSA from Top Stories this past month on Reddit. This one, I find it funny everyone forgets they changed their icon. And the thing is that the reason for this is they didn't know they changed their icon. But yeah, whenever a free icon is added in the Atomic Shop and you buy it, it also changes to your default icon. So, whichever icon you're buying, everybody's wearing it in the Wasteland. And I think it's funny that people are twinsies for a day. So I paraphrase. That's not what the Reddit post said, but they just had the title. I find it funny. People forget they changed their icon.
Right. Yeah.
This one also made me laugh. Your low-level folks crack me up. So this person says, I had a known plan for the short pew. I put it on my vendor for a reasonable price. I wanted to make sure people get it. It's not wicked common, but it's a good one. It was bought by a level 22. Okay, cool. Dude gonna have a nice seat to sit on his camp. Then this level 22 messages me and asks for his caps back because, and I quote, I thought pew meant gun. Nah, bro. All sales final.
Pew. No, this is not a Star Wars game. Come on.
It's funny. On Facebook, people say that so they can avoid saying gun and, not get zucked.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, they try to talk about, weapons. People abbreviate, weps. And guns, they often call pews. But,
that's funny. That's funny.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, okay. One more top Reddit story.
Okay, here we go.
So this one happened a week after the first one I wrote, and this one's titled, So I Ate My First Player. The other day, someone posted on here about eating other players using Cannibal Perk card. Well, I decided to give it a try. I was at Heart of the Swamp, and a player went into a down state. I went up to him, and lo and behold, there was an execute option I hadn't ever seen before. Nice. I did the deed. I felt so bad afterwards. I went to him after the event and gave the sorry emote a bunch of times, followed by the heart emote. But he was cool and gave me a thumbs up. After 4,000 hours of playtime, I never even knew this was possible.
That's
Game
hilarious.
Still surprises me.
Now, does eating the person actually kill them, or do they just stay in the down position until someone stim packs them?
No, they're gone.
They're
you're
dead.
not just
that
nibbling
actually
a tail.
kills them. Yeah, you're sucking
You're
on their
getting
throat.
in there.
Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, there's
Severing
blood.
a
Have you
jugular.
eaten somebody? Have you eaten another player, Andrew, ever?
I don't believe I've done that, no.
It's messy business, I'm just going to say. It is kind of funny,
and they toned it down. Originally, it was, the spray went everywhere whenever you were snacking, and it made just the loudest noise. And, I definitely, nobody missed when I was, running around in a group with them.
People would turn and be like, oh no, Ray's at it again. Just ignore him. Turn away. Don't look. Don't watch.
It especially cracks me if I'm wearing the turkey suit. That is a great one to be cannibalized in.
There you go.
Oh, I thought it'd be even funnier to be cannibalizing other people wearing the turkey costume. Cannibal turkeys. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, so I just thought I'd give you a few Reddit top stories that I found amusing this week.
Very amusing. Thank you, Jess. All right, you guys, I think that pretty much wraps up a good episode here with a nice little bow. Is there anything else you guys would like to mention before signing off for the evening? And on that note, I would like to invite everyone, especially if you live in one of those outward, way out there states that no one ever goes to or heard of. If you got a little fun fact about your state, please get a hold of me. We've got a friend of the show whose kid's doing a project at school who is just asking for a postcard with a fun fact from everyone's state. And he wants to try to get a representative from each and every state across the United States. And also, we decided that, hey, we're going to make Clint submit one. We're starting to get people from all out over the whole world, not just every state. So we'd like to help this person, get a postcard from each and every cool place. Hey, Sullior, we need one from Iowa, I believe. So get a hold of me at thefalloutfeed@gmail.com, and I will give you all the details of where your postcard needs to be sent. Again, it's just a postcard. The postcard doesn't necessarily have to be of the state, but just from your state, mailed to this person, and with a fun fact about the place where you live. So please help us in that project to get a little touch from every state across the United States. That would be very helpful. Thanks a lot, guys. If you'd like to participate, go ahead. All right, you guys, I think that wraps us up tonight. Jess, thanks so much for hopping on. You can find her over there at Dames Who Game. Also, at you still doing You Wastelanders? Is that sort of dormant?
I still have the channel.
She still has the at. You streaming it all? Doing anything with it?
No, we're still on hiatus. It's been a little over a month now.
Yeah.
Gonna be about 2-3 month hiatus. Yeah.
Well, good deal. Well, find her personal site at Sleep Is For Tea. And also, please, guys, we've had a little bit of an uptick in people buying T-shirts and posting them in the Facebook group and stuff. Check out her Optimistic. Remind me. Sorry.
Yeah. Optimistic.threadless.com.
Exactly. Go get yourself a cool T-shirt and post a picture of yourself. We love those. Everyone's looking snazzy in their new T-shirts. So thanks everyone who's purchased a Fallout Feed T-shirt recently. Jess, thanks so much for hopping on tonight.
Thank you.
You can find Ray at a Skyrim Addict podcast, also at BBC ISSS for all of your No Man's Sky needs, that other space game, and also at Ray LB. Ray, thanks so much for hopping on.
Good times.
I am at Indie Android. The show can be found at the Fallout Feed. I'd like to thank everyone for downloading this edition of the Fallout Feed, and we will see you in the Wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the Roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, a Skyrim Addict podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the Wasteland.
The spray went everywhere whenever you were snacking.
Found the old entrance.
Have you eaten another player? I want to flatten some venison. A hell of a lot of stew.
I was just happy to fix my broken legs, kind of picking out.
It takes a few squirts.
Kitty Kingdom.
It started to peter out a little bit.
Yeah.
Got to get some good play in. I've touched a few little things. You're dropping the Riz.
Really, really good.
Cunt the Wumpus.